Hi, how's it in the name of Jesus Christ? How you doing? It's your girl, K, Karabo. I hope you're good, I hope you're peachy, I hope you're stellar. And I hope you're in a neat little bunch. If you're not, welcome to the party. Let me just put some caveats out there. Kindly look out for my captions. They are not always accurate. They sometimes use a small G for God. They are sometimes the wrong word. Oh, no, let's start again. The whole small G for God thing is not a thing anymore. But I've just gotten so used to saying it that way that it's just coming out of my mouth. But like they are sometimes misspelled. It's sometimes the wrong word altogether. All that jazz. Yeah, that's not really me. If it was up to me, not up to me, sorry, but like if I had an incentive to, I would correct it. But I don't presently have an incentive to because nobody watches my long form content, so for those reasons, I don't. Anyway, whatever. And then next up, I'm very potentially wearing app makeup. If I am, you'll know. If I'm not, you'll also know. Kindly look out for that. It tends to bounce off and on my face. It's an application, it's not the real deal. Okay, and then thirdly, I have a segment. I'm only human after all, I'm only human after all, I'm only human after all. And don't take a jab at me. Yeah, I'm pinching my cheeks to try and bring forth a blush. To display that when you prick me, I bleed. When you afflict me, I get afflicted. When you hurt me, I get hurt. All that jazz. Moving right on along. It doesn't really work, but it's my segment, I keep it. It's my little add-on in this whole thing that I do, so we keep it. That's what I was trying to achieve. Anyway, let's just get straight into it. Look, I want to sing, okay, because I just have a sentiment that I want to share. Singing helps me feel better. I happened upon an epiphany today, and it's a healing epiphany. I want to freestyle a song that I'm just coming up with from the corner of my crevices. And I'm going to sing these songs too. And then maybe at the end of it, not maybe, certainly, at the end of it all, I am going to speak to what under heaven is definitely happening. Before I came here, I prayed and I asked the Lord to give me grace. When I was working out, I asked the Lord to give me grace. And I have grace. And we shall see that grace is definitely a thing by the time we're done speaking here. There is a treachery going on with my life, but it's alright. Because I'm a monument now. I have proven the presence of dark forces. I have shown the activity of Satan, not individually, uniquely, and single-handedly, but God Almighty has seen it fit to use me and the ministry that He's given me to show the world this here is not sustainable. You cannot live like this. You cannot just complacently continue to merely exist in the midst of all this darkness and think that you're going to be cool. But it's all good in the hood. You don't got to listen to me. You do not have to listen to me rap on about how it is that everything is diabolical. You don't have to listen to me rap on about how everything is unsustainable. You don't gotta do any of that. Bottom line is, all you need to do is live in a world full of all these rituals for you to come to a place where you are like, who is safe? And yesterday I did a video of that nature. Y'all know that I am being sought after very desperately by disgusting men, and there's a lot of them. There's this y'all are cockpit, as in you're fighting for one woman and it appears that you're prepared to fight unto death. In other words, you're prepared that I should die, and that's okay. That's alright. What's going on here? When you pick away at your acne, I need to stop doing that. Anyway, that's alright. Like you can fight as much as you want, but how sad it is for the women you fight over that don't have God. Ebana, I would have ended up dead. These women do end up dead. Feel sorry for you anyway. So I just want to freestyle a song right now, and a couple of them, or maybe just keep freestyling however long it lasts. You might not want to consider it a song. Let's rather call it a musical, because it might linger longer than just 3 minutes. Alright, to basically share sentiment concerning what's going on here, because it appears when a person talks, it yields no fruit. Okay, yeah. It yields no fruit. I sought the Lord's face to help me freestyle, and I might sing this music as well, the one that I wrote, but my freestyle song is what we're running with first again. So it goes a little something like this. Papa chum, you know, bada chum, chum. Recycle machine. I don't wanna be a part of that machine. Like dirty laundry, I don't want somebody to put me in their recycle machine. Just dust their dirty little hands off their shirt and then put me in a recycle machine. Fornicators. Been fornicating since you could fornicate, yeah. Came to Christ, quote unquote, and still you continue to fornicate, yeah. It did not matter that the Bible made it clear that you don't get to mix God with all that nasty. But nah, no. You know you're going to heaven. So ever since you was a little boy, you have been born again. And ever since you were a fornicator, you have still been born again. Never took time to check your fruit, never to see if at all you really have been saved since you was a little. But no, dare somebody rock up and tell you it's over for that person. You're dating them all, you keep on exchanging the M like panties on a body. But now you still born again, yeah. Brother, you born again. Since you was a little boy, you've been going to heaven. Since you was a little bugger, you've been on your way there. Exchanging them like underwear. Ladies, they're everywhere in your life. Who been everywhere, yeah. Party is you. Drink it up and storm bottoms up. You've been in that joint for a minute. Grew up, took a wife. Mama was proud you finally settled down. But look at you scanning the internet for a little side chick. And it just so happens to be me. It is me, for real. Side piece, I'm being sought after for being a side piece. Mistress is me, is that what we're doing these days? I'm apparently your desired side chick. Because somewhere along the way before you got married to your lady, you signed an oath with Satan to give you opulence. That's actually the reason why that lady even was happy to be with you. So now that utwele do, all the money is coming to you, hey. And even though you got that ring on your finger, you still dating like you're in high school. Even though you got that ring on your finger, you still flirting like you in the club. Your wife can't deal, but hey, she had it coming, did she not? After all, she always knew you were a nasty. But she was chasing after the dough. Even though she did not know how you done made that dough. Kingdom of darkness done giving you dough. So you still out here jollaring like you're in high school. And then one day, since you've been a Christian since a baby boy, since you was a little boy, you've been born again. Ooh, that's what your cult told you. That you can still be a Christian, and and twala from here to Timbuktu, yeah. That you can still be a believer and still be a Freemason. You can still be a believer and get hoodwinked. You can still be a disciple of the Lord Jesus Christ and be a cult member. Ooh, so you still go to church with the very wife that's tired of you. Ooh, you still drag them children to church that know that you got a ritual room in the house. Ooh, you are leading them astray, but you think that you're the spiritual leader of your home. Ooh, you still a Christian. So every so often you click on a YouTube channel of a Christian. You are still drawn to Christian topics, 'cause you've been born again since you was a little boy. Clicking on a YouTube. Clicking on the TikTok machine. And clicking, and you be clicking on Instagram on Christian content, 'cause you that believer. And one day, one fateful day, thunder strike in the sky, peals of thunder. You happen upon a lady chica that you imagine is a damsel in distress. She's a Christian. You're searching for Christian content, and you're like, click, and you discover that, she is suffering. You see that she is single. You also see that don't nobody care. And since you ain't never stopped fraternizing around in these streets with them ladies ever, and since you still jolling around like you're in grade 11, you like, I like her. Since you're still flirting with the ladies in the office, I'm just another lady. And so, given that you joined a secret society, you like, I like her. This Karabo. She pretty. I like her. She's so pretty. She's nice. She looks like my size. So then you go and you invest in all of that darkness of that pest called the Prince of the Power of the Air. Helping you along to get just what you want, because ain't no lady ever said no to you. How dare they? Karabo, you're just another one of them ladies. I get what I want 'cause I'm that gentleman, ladies. Don't nobody ever say no to me, I'm that dude. I've arrived, and don't nobody say no to me. It's only a matter of time. I like her, Uyangi Kaza. I've always been keen on them Christian ladies, but the one I married was a professing Christian just like me. She ain't got no fruit. She ain't that Proverbs 31 lady that surpasses them all, no. So, like exchanging some underwear, I feel like I'm gonna replace my lady. But first I gotta test it out. I gotta make sure that I get this girl. She ain't got no clout, don't nobody like her. Suffering middle name. She appears to be irritated with everybody that is into sorcery. So I am going to hoodwink her like I was hoodwinked by the cult, and make myself look like a sweet Gonyani. Come in and slide into those DMs. See if she will talk to me, and if she doesn't wanna, it's okay. That's just the first step. Bewitch her ministry to go absolutely nowhere. Make sure she can't make no money. After all, I already found her poor. It's not like I'm creating poverty. I just want to keep her there because she might end up somewhere else, even though I'm a married man. Yeah, I'm gonna take her because I like her. But first she gonna be my side piece. First she gonna be my side piece. But I like her so much I might just make her a wife. If my prison wife is not content with being in a polygamous common law marriage, customary law marriage, I'll divorce her and I'll take Grand K because, hey, there's more where they came from, these Alicia Keys. I'ma make out of her a Gabriella Union. I am going to make her a second lady that's gonna kick the first one to the curb. And I don't care that she got issues with that, because at the end of the day, I take autonomy. People don't know how to think for themselves in my grill, cause I've arrived. People don't know how to think for themselves in my grill, cause I'm a witch. People don't know how to make their own choices in my grill, cause I know how to cast a spell. And people don't know that don't nobody step on my toes, cause I'm a witch. So Grand K, it's only a matter of time. I'm a Christian girl since I was a little boy. What you telling me about unequal yoking bloom? Make like a flower. Chill, girl. Take a breather. I want you and I'm gonna take you. But then I scan left and then I scan right, and I look all around and I see that this chick, I want her. But man, there's like 20 more. All these buggers that want the same thing. What in the world am I gonna do? We are so many. What is the guarantee that it is my sorcery that'll work? You there, brother, what's your story? I want Karabo for myself. You don't get to take her, she's my lady, so I'm gonna scoot you out the way. So what I'm gonna do is cast a spell on any other dude that could potentially want her. So now we're at war for one little lady. Look at you making me like Helen of Troy, yeah. It appears my face has launched 1,000 ships, even though I ain't got nothing to do with it. I didn't ask for none of this, so you keep bewitching each other. Now you're in a cockpit with a whole bunch of other dudes. They're trying to kill you, but you're also trying to kill them. And at the end of the day, you're all prepared that I should die. So now Helen gotta die. The Lady of Troy gotta die. The face of the black lady that launched 1,000 ships, it appears. I'm a modern day Helen of Troy, and all of these Trojan horses are trying by force to take me, but I won't have anything to do with it. The Lord therefore ensconced me and said, my daughter, you will watch these Hunger Games of these filthy little men, these occult beasts that are trying to kill you. Ooh, they're gonna kill each other. They are gonna eliminate each other on your behalf. You won't have to lift a single finger, not even for a day. By the time they wake up in Hades, by the time they wake up in Sheol, you will be like, ooh, my corset is loose. I was in a tight spot, and all of a sudden it got free. All of a sudden I started to breathe again. Having never lifted a single finger, they chopped each other's heads off. Why? 'Cause they made out of me Helen of Troy. I launched 1,000 ships, look at that, for a black woman, that's so cool. It turns out we can also be that beautiful too. Black version of Helen of Troy, out here causing some buggers to die, and I'm sitting back on some queen, look at their swords pierce. Look at their swords cross. And I'm leaving Helen of Troy, the black version from South Africa. I'm sitting in heaven watching a Hunger Games arena of dirty men killing each other for me. Ooh, well, I mean, you're doing me a favor, 'cause I was never gonna go out like that. But now, before then, they all feel entitled to me and they think that they can kill me. if I won't be with them. But they keep on conjuring up of their crevices spells against each other, unbeknownst to each other. They're unaware that they're each other, cursing each other. Helena Troy, I got a remote control, and I'm sitting back watching TV, watching these buggers done kill each other. It's like a gladiator match. I'm looking left and right. Who's gonna win? Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody gonna win but Helen. Cheeky gonna come out eventually. She's gonna breathe like Toni Braxton again. Breathe again. And I will forever breathe again. Yeah. Ooh. I was 5 and he was 6. They all didn't realize that there were a whole bunch of them riding horses made of sticks. They wore black clothes of darkness while I wore white. And they were always picking a fight with the kingdom of heaven. And then one day they were like, bang, bang, we're gonna shoot you down. Bang, bang, you're gonna hit the ground. Karabo, bang, bang, oh. That awful sound, a bang, bang. But it's not Karabo. Look to the side. Oh, these buggers shot each other down. Ooh, they done killed each other. Ooh. Oh! You were trying to eliminate me, but you're gonna eliminate each other. That's the power of a saintly lady. Buggers be trying to go to war for the lady, but you're gonna kill each other in a shootout. And I'm glad, cause I was panicking, freaking out, looking, I got on some ooh. And the Lord was like, okay, baby, relax and take a breather, sit down, switch on the television in heaven and watch them fight unto death. In the battlefield, they will land on their own swords after pushing each other onto you. You're gonna be moved out of harm's way, but they're gonna be clashing, cause they think they're the titans. Ooh. That's just the way that your Lord Almighty from the heaven and the sky has been doing things for a minute. If you go and you discover the story in the Bible there, when the Christian, or at least I say the people of God, the Jews, when they were suffering, very deep suffering, they were just going to a lot where, and next thing everybody tries to comfort them. They try to comfort them. And they want to go and grab them with the washing, want to go and destroy, devastate, just mow them to the ground, eh? Yeah, Jesus is like, don't worry. Children, have no fear. Do no such thing as that one. Have no disturbance in your peace. Do it not the thing. Do not destroy your own sleep over these people. What I'm going to do, seeing as you are such a small army, there's only like 5 or 10 of you, and there's like 1,000 of them. I'm going to go and put them into confusion. They will go into confusion. Listen to me, child. They will go into confusion, go into battle in the middle of the night. And they will be thinking that they are devastating the Israelites. But then, one moment you switch on the lights, go and discover that they go kill each other off, while not a single one of you guys is going to be dead. You will just sit back and watch and listen to their sword clinking. Their sword will clink and clink and clink. They will sword and clink all night long. And when you wake up in the morning, when you will discover, children of mine, do not have any fear. Have no fear. Relax, breathe. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Have no problem, no fear. These disturbingly disgusting people of the occult have no disturbance in your own heart concerning them, because they will clink their swords all night long while you sit around watching almost like with a remote control as you are shuffling through channel on front of the television, and you will watch them finish each other off. And in the morning, you will go and gaze upon the dead bodies. You will go and discover the dead bodies, every last one of them piled on top of each other, one on top of each other like a sandwich, a big one, like a sandwich. They will be piled on top of each other, and they will have killed each other thinking that they were clinking sword, destroying the Israelites, destroying the Hebrew. But all my soldiers will be in one piece.
All my soldiers will be in one piece. They think they are clinking sword over you, but they are clinking each other. They are clinking each other's sword. So it does not matter. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I'm very afraid. Because me, I'm God. My God is big. First Angela. First Angela. Do you understand? First Angela. Where do you lie? Do you hear what I'm saying? This is not gonna end well for you in the occult. Cease and desist, stay yourself from partaking in battle, know what I'm saying? Because this here Ellen of Troy, the black version, like turns out a black lady can be that fly. You know all these people that are just underestimating black females? Yeah, I'm Helen of Troy now. Look at the 2024 version. It's a black lady. Woo! Pray good times come out. And it's not only a black lady, but it's a black Christian lady. You are just thinking that not only are black people hated, but so too are Christians hated. And here it is that we are dealing. And not only are black people disgraced and hated, but so too are Christians disgraced and hated. And worse off if they are women. And then there is like a black woman that I'll just be sending men to war. The face that launched a thousand ships to a point where a poor woman YouTube channel make like an ice brick. Dry ice. It's just blowing steam 24 hours a day. There's a lot of steam coming out, but it is cold. It is frozen. Antarctica. She Eskimo. Go make poor lady Eskimo. Frozen YouTube channel. Same number from 2 months ago. Not even one move of a single subscriber. Not even one subscriber again. Not even one subscriber again. Despite all this content today I be uploading every day. Brothers are fighting in battle, thinking that they are clinking sword with me. They believe they are clinking sword with me. I am the one here that they are murdering. They are murdering me. But according to Jesus, so I'm just watching it like I'm watching television on Netflix. Scrolling through channel. Swiping to see what is more entertaining tomorrow. Because these people are fighting each other. You are gonna murder each other with your spell. All the dark curses that you keep on casting on me are not gonna work. But remember that say you on that I dream about, do you recall it, with all the brother trying to go and kill my husband, they all trying to make themselves my husband, so your wives are going to go and no be widow. I know go tell you different, I try not go tell you continue. I not go tell you me, continue with Satan. I told you walk away, repent because Jesus is going to go and show you flame. I did let you know, Jesus is going to go and show you big fat explosion. But you don't want to listen to me. So now your wife is going to go and be widow. Children can be orphan. Because you did it, you decided that you're going to go and launch her ship. Here's the problem, brother. You are married. You've got a wife, she's complaining constantly, crying. But where you been, Jabu? Where you been, Temper? What am I going to do to you? What's your problem, Jono? Don't do a strange thing. Do a better thing. But no, you continue because you are greedy, rapacity, you are very selfish. And so because you want to go and have 20 wives, because you think you are Solomon, you want to go and have 300 concubines, because you imagine that you can just go and keep taking wife. You then go and you cross the wrong boulevard this time. You go and cross the wrong street, so this time around you go and cross the absolute wrong intersection. This time you hit a T-junction. This time you must do U-turn, but you don't want to do U-turn, no. You love that street and the cul-de-sac. So for that reason, Jesus is going to destroy you through you. He's going to destroy you through you. Your own defeatism is going to get you murdered by yet more people just like you. Me, I no go be harm's way. I am Helen, the black version, black lady, they go make men crazy on the internet. Suffering psychosis because me I'm poor. Suffering psychosis from you because I have no money. I've got no money. So because I've got no money, you feel as if though you can go and pamper me, even though you make me mistress. A woman I'm not an abomination. I don't go do prostitution. That's not what I do, But you are attempting. You are doing very hard work. Right now, you are working, striving by the sweat of your brow for the wrong thing. At acquiring a woman that does not belong to you to a point. Look at all of you, stupid man. You are frozen on YouTube channel. All 4 of them are just sitting 5. I've got fitness and 4 ministry. And they're just sitting around, chilling. Like go sitting duck. Am I just gonna be here like a woman go weaving gold 24 hours a day because I have no gas? Guess your name. Rumpelstiltskin. Are you Rumpelstiltskin, brother? Are you Rumpelstiltskin, brother? You are not Rumpelstiltskin, but still you want me to go and weave gold for you. This is what's going to happen. I'm a born again believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't do rubbish. I walk away from fornication. No more debauchery for me. Don't drink no alcohol. Don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do nothing of that nature. I work for Jesus 24 hours a day. I am righteous and I'm set apart for Jesus. But you won't go make me mistress. Second, side piece. So I won't go make a woman that has been waiting on Jesus for 13 entire years for a husband. A side piece. So you go and you kill my future husband before I even meet him. It's alright. Brothers, you continue in this particular fashion. Do what you want, say. Continue in your psychosis. Like I say, you are disturbed. From within the brain, you are completely gone. Looney bean, 24 hours a day, nothing is ringing in there. Nothing is register. Nothing is register. So it's alright. It's alright. I've been trying to warn you. Zombie apocalypse. I've been trying it. Telling you all different kinds of things from the book of Revelation. You are like the city of Sodom. Bring her out. We want to go and have sex with her. Jesus is like, what are you doing? It's my daughter or this womb consecrated. You don't get to mock the kingdom like that. But you are continuing, Shin. You are continuation. That is you. Do you then, brother? You will clink head, you who are trying to bring yourself into my particular premises as a Trojan horse, trying to act as if though you are a born again believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, me, I see it. I see it. Oh. Jesus award me vision and dream. He go show me, look at this rubbish 24-hour a day. So just like that battle in the Lord's word, where the children of God were protected even from doing a battle at all. They did not have to even go into war. They did not even have to fight. The surrounding armies are the ones that go into the battle and clink each other's sword, hitting each other till in the morning, wake up, rediscover the old day where they kill each other. That's what's going to happen right now. So, with all of your disturbing activity, I am not going to be fearful right now because I belong to the God of the Jews, of the Hebrews, who did that. And it appears right now that he is going to do it for me too. You will kill each other off, brother. You will make out of that very unhappy wife a widow. Already she's tired of you, so you are going to be good riddance. I'm not about to go and replace anybody's husband. Correction, wife. You are disturbingly disgusting. And all of this activity of yours, where you are trying very hard, doing everything in your strange power to go and grab a woman that does not belong to you, you are going to get yourselves mad at. Do you understand what I'm saying? By other people. The Lord keeps showing me that you guys are like AKA. You know that there's a celebrity, the man who used to sing. You are like him. Pass away one day, bullet at the back of your head, lights out. And the thing that will have killed you will have been a death ritual that would have succeeded because you will have been collateral damage amidst the men, the myriads of men that have been casting the exact same spells on the exact same woman to a point of so much jealousy of other men that are trying for her that they would then do a blind death spell. Blind, hoodwinked, like in your occult secret societies, hey? Yeah. A blind death ritual to kill any man else that is trying to get with Karabo. That's how you end up in hell, y'all. We are still leaving. The rapture is still going to happen. But not before you guys drop, like dominoes at each other's knife ends. At each other's knife ends. This music, I will sing it. And there is... When I was in primary school, my sister, my older sister, was in high school. And I think she was in grade 8 or 9 or something. There was a tragedy that happened in her grade where 2 guys that she knew passed away. So they were just teenagers, like what, 15, 16, yeah. They both passed away. It was like a whole big thing, and that story has always just gotten me really shook. What was going on over there? The one boy went to go and grab his dad's gun, thinking that there are no bullets therein, because why would there be, given that the dad just left it there for them to find? And they played around with this gun, not knowing what in the world is going on. And the one boy goes and points the gun towards the friend and pulls the trigger, thinking there's nothing that's going to come out there. Doesn't even test it in the air or on the floor or somewhere else, but he tested literally in the face of his friend, and out comes a live round shooting his friend dead. And out of just a spirit of panic, because he mistakenly killed his friend, he then turned the gun on himself, and took himself then to eternity. So there's 2 boys now in the flames of hell. That whole story, when my sister told me it, I was like shook and everything as a kid in primary school.
And God keeps on bringing that particular event as a, what do you call this thing? A vision to me. All day and night. He brings it to me. Awesome, that's how they're gonna die. That's how they're all gonna die. They're gonna die like that. They're gonna mistakenly shoot, boom, one in the head, and as a result of that state of panic, turn the gun on themselves, bah, and end their lives. Y'all are gonna die from murder-suicides, do you understand? Mistaken murder-suicides. You are going to kill the wrong people. And as a result, the guns are going to turn back on your own head. Some of y'all are going to commit suicide. Others of you, however, are going to die, just like AKA, where it is that there will be a contract assassination out on your head, and you will then get shot dead while you think you still got 20 more years to live, 30, 40, 50 more years to live. That's how y'all are about to be exsanguinated out of the earth. And that's how God is going to rescue Karabo, because I am violently outnumbered. I am. Just like the same God of the Hebrews who made them go to war with another tribe. Who caused the other tribes or other villages, other warriors from other towns to fight each other at night. You know that story in, I believe it might be Joshua, the book of Joshua. I stand corrected, right? Where it is that the Hebrew clans, there were so little of them. There were so few. And they were beleaguered on all sides by so many armies that God blinded them and confounded their speech, made them fight at night to kill each other off. So that in the morning, the Hebrews who were hidden would all be alive, while all these guys would have killed each other off. The battle is the Lord's. And just like that battle, I'm going to be salvaged from what the Lord just communicated to me before I came to speak right now. There's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I just want to, let me just get this music out the way, and then we'll talk about what got me to this point. Now that I've freestyled my jam, let me sing this song and then explain what under heaven was supposed to knock me off a precipice, knock me off some steep incline, but like the Lord stayed me from falling off. If anything, I just looked at it on some whatever. Moving on. Yo, the God of the Bible, the same one with all of those marvelous feats of the Old Testament, is the same one today that has the back of Christians that you underestimate the living daylights out of in the 21st century. You're naive. This here is a song that I rewrote. Trey songs, some licentious song, Trey songs. I flipped it over to basically speak about the incendiary entitlement by occult men over God's girls. Like, lasagna, you are, what is this? You're already all over the show. Like, you're already cheating. You're already flirting with women in the office. You still date like you're in high school. Your wives cannot stand you. You are untrustworthy. You have given some of them HIV. Yo, batung. You shella women in the office 24 hours a day. You are always scanning the internet for any new fresh thing that'll respond to your direct message. On Facebook, there was some dude who DM'd me before I responded to his DM. He DM'd me, and because he DM'd me, I went on his profile, and his wife was all up in there. And I'm like, he's got a Facebook page that's yawning open for people to see that he's married, but he is still shellering chicks on the internet because our fazi bayahlang these days. They will probably respond to a dude that they can see in his profile is married. And these days, they lean on that. They need that. They need these women to know that I'm married. But if you're prepared to, if you're willing, okay, fine, get out bitches. Oh, guys, you're crazy, you're mad, you're literally mentally insane. But I guess not mentally insane sufficiently. Granted that there are women who actually accommodate you, so maybe it's not a mental illness, it's a positive reinforcement and some kind of an operant conditioning. You've been conditioned to be whack by bad women. Like, they've just accommodated you so much that you think you can just dilly-dally playing these stupid games with every lady, every woman. I didn't respond to that bugger. And I mean, well, of course, he unfollowed me. He unfollowed me. Yeah, I don't care to lose your subscription or your followership, dude. If you are trying to make out of me a mistress or body, like, get out. I didn't need you. Good riddance. Good riddance. Good riddance. And it did not matter to him that I was a Christian and I did Christian content. He was still testing that. Why? Because there are so many lukewarm Christians out there in these streets, out there having affairs with each other. So to him, Christianity didn't mean anything because he'd only ever seen the lukewarm conglomerate. He had never been in the company of a consecrated woman. So he did not see that as just a violence of disrespect. A violence of disrespect. And then the Gen Zs that look at me like I'm some kind of a MILF. Whoa. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're used to direct messaging MILFs on the internet that are flattered by the fact that some little boy is direct messaging them. And so you literally try to reduce me
to a sexually attractive older woman. Whoa. Like, so much disrespect, right? You're gonna butt heads in some arena that God is gonna put you in, and you're going to murder suicide each other. I've been saying it, but you know what? You don't gotta believe me. That's what's good. You don't gotta believe me. However, your entitlement to godly girls, nyokipwa amatswape na mabunga, guys. Azophumala matswape wenu. Yeah. Lo shapa stratle go straight la go strateng la nkutla. Ha ke rata nkatso la tsola. Lo itumpa. Lo shapa straight la go strateng. Le lo tangalaza on top of that get down nkatsa ka straight la. With everything just hanging. The way that Modimo tlo le ntshanga botlhoko ka teng. Lo ntshwa ka di washing hare bades. Those of you who speak English, I shall revert back to English because this is important to speak to those who do only speak English as well. I mean, really, my audience is largely just all these occult psychopaths. So I don't really care at this point to even be decorous in terms of my speech. The way one get you are like the satraps and the administrators that set Daniel up for failure, and he didn't get consumed by the beasts, by the lions, and then before you even hit the ground, y'all and your children and your wives are gonna be out here in these streets getting devoured by some lions. Bodile. You are disgusting, and you are going to go to war on behalf of said black version of Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. It appears I'm that pretty. Thank you for confirming that. I've been feeling insecure these days. However, I have no desire that you should fight over me. If at all the Lord has seen it fit to give me a husband, he would be here. What you need to understand is that this is the thing that's going to fulfill that other prophecy that I gave that other day. Remember when I said that there was a whole bunch of people professing Christ with crosses grooved into their foreheads, all burning next to each other in hellfire, wearing nun outfits. In other words, an outward appearance of godliness, even though you're completely lost. As far as the east is from the west, so too were you separated from God. Having newly arrived there before or shortly after the commencement of the tribulation. We are still going home. That's a thing. I'm not feeling some kind of way about that. That is definitely still happening. But the Lord is going to finish you guys off through each other. He recognizes that I am severely outnumbered, that I am beleaguered on all sides, that this here is an impossible feat for me to achieve on my own, that none of my praying and my fasting is going to set me free. No, the battle, randos, is the Lord's. The battle belongs to Jesus. So I am just watching you. Like watching a gladiator match in the Colosseum. I really would not have much rather watched people fight each other unto the death, but you insisted on putting yourselves in these Hunger Games arenas where it is kill or be killed. You are literally going to fight each other unto death. God is about to put you at odds with each other, and it's already happening. So thank you for killing that bugger in America on my behalf. Thank you for knocking out my ex on my behalf. I've been wanting them out anyway. I've been lamenting. They've been all up in my grill casting all these nasty spells. Yeah, proper kiwane. I'm not about to go mina tagata inja out in these streets so that he can die. Proper. But if the Lord sees that a person gotta die, he will send yet another one of you occult practitioners to do a death spell on them. And they will then make like a nice little domino and tip. So bye-bye. Bye-bye, randos. Goodbye. But in the run-up to your perishing, you will have been nicely warned. Somebody would have rocked up every single day and rapped on and on and on and on and until one about to what they did. Some like feeble Grim Reaper that can't really get to her because she's too Christian, too legit to quit. Yeah. You will hate me until you finish each other off. You will literally knock each other into eternity, and when you die, good riddance. Even if there is some sobbing female out here pretending that her deadbeat husband that used to cheat on her that gave her HIV is dead, out here pretending that she is sad that he's gone. Like, you make yourselves good riddance when you finally do cease to exist. So be afraid. No, I am not. But you ought to be. You ought to be for having done this to me. But anyway, I'm gonna get to that point. Shem is like a whole thing. So your big fat chunky entitlement to godly women. This song that I rewrote, Jet Trey Songs, is about that whole thing, okay? Let me just get these songs out of my way, really, so that I can continue to explain this thing that I'm trying to explain. I might even have 2 parts today, because I generally have 1 part. These days, I've got 1 part. I insist on keeping stuff in 1 part, but if the video is too long, we shall graduate over to 2 parts. I'm not going to explain the song. I'm just going to sing it very slowly. So that you can hear every lost lyric, to understand that this here has been my pet peeve for a minute, and for anybody to imagine that the day's gonna come when I'm gonna allow myself to lie down like a Nando's chicken, merely being humped on by some filthy man that I don't even love because I'm desperate. I cannot get a little tampons, yeah, because he managed to bewitch me into obscurity.
It's entirely naive for you to think that I would be this feverishly antagonized to the thing that these men are and end up with one. It's naive to think that you can so cause an exquisite depth of desperation in a woman that she would end up with the very thing she hates. You know what you are literally trying to convert me to? Jada Pinkett and Set It Off. Like, out just settling with some grunting, feverishly lustful idiot that has wanted her for a while that she found disgusting, but because she got to a point of desperation, she's letting him lay on her. You thoroughly think the day's gonna come when I'm going to have my legs pulled apart like as with pliers, and if somebody penetrate me because I don't have tampons. That's how poor you made me. You froze my channel to oblivion. You cannot curse those whom God has blessed, okay? So if my channel appears to be frozen, honeys, it is not frozen. It is your undoing. You're finishing each other off. Whenever your sorcery looks like it's working, you then graduate to the next level, making like Mario, moving from level 1 to level 2, level 3, because you think it's a kiddies game. And so the next level is, okay, so seeing as I prosper to freeze Karabo, now every bugger in these streets that wants her, I need to move them out the way. That's how you die. Go fail through each other. And then I'm gonna come out on the other side, being the only thing that's alive, literally watching a whole bunch of piled up dead bodies dust around me on some row. Look at how these rando buffooneries killed each other on my behalf. Lobolayana on my behalf. Like, recognize that. It's gonna happen. If anything, it has already commenced. It has already started. I'm a funeral in 5 seconds from today. I warned you. Some of y'all. You've got ngolaza. You've got HIV. You've got all these stats, these whack stats. You've got 2 ex-wives. You've got kids you're not taking care of. There's just so much going on. And you want a virtuous woman, and you will take her by any means necessary. Ashem, you're bored, you're bored, and akuna muntu ozokhala ever. Nobody's gonna cry. Ain't nobody out in the kingdom of heaven gonna be sad over your demise. Maybe mosadi wa teng o rata go pretend because vele le taba wa go rata ke pretense. Akalla release di crocodile tears go lifung la hao. Mara everybody else, you will have been gotten rid of. Good riddance will be what under heavens it is that you are. The audacity to imagine that you can grab as a filthy, psychopathic, occult creep a woman that hates that stuff because you have made her so poor. So poor. You have beleaguered her on all sides so exquisitely. Yeah. That she will finally allow you to breathe heavy, do you understand, on her body, because it's what you've been wanting to do. Because she will always be like Tamar to you. Amnon, come up with a strategy, stealthily sneak in your way into the life of a woman you've always wanted to sleep with, and once you have slept with her, you will hate her more than you loved her at first. That's what you're trying to do to me. Hebatu. All that tyranny, all that been my girl, all that oppression. You're bored, and like I said, I'm gonna stand over me with my garments clean. I didn't even have to go to war. I will be carrying a sword. My hand will be dangling a sword as I am watching you guys, because I didn't even have to lift it. It'll still be clean. No blood on it at all. I would not have had to chop any of y'all's heads off. None of y'all. You will have killed each other. And my clean sword will be put right back in its sheath, and I'll just go on my merry way. And then the rapture will happen. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's about to happen. So prepare for funerals. How about you slot, you open slots Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. You're about to attend a funeral one month. Your husbands that are out here making women on the internet Abu Helen of Troy, yeah, they're about to die in their numbers like dominoes. You're gonna be made widows. Women in your 30s, women in your 20s, you are about to be widowed because your husbands are creeps. They are occult creeps that are terrorizing complete strangers on the internet. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're about to die. You're gonna think mamina. Cheeky. In and of yourself, you're not innocent. That's why I keep wasona. That's why I'm speaking like this. Why would the Lord take my husband so young? He had to die. He was doing this to an innocent woman. But anyway, let's just get into this music. Okay? I you know what? I really actually want to just keep this in one part. Let's just and just finish talking. Because I'm tired of editing. Like I've been saying it. Like, and frankly, there is no point in trying to do 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts, because at the end of the day, even if I were to have a 3.5 hour long video, the day's gonna come when people are gonna sit outside it like they're watching the movie Titanic, because they're gonna latch on to every last word. They're gonna hang on to every word I say, because everything I would have prophesied would have come to pass, including the rapture. This guy wanna, okay. Kiepinea 3 songs, so I wouldn't recommend you listen to the real one. It's disgusting, but I'll give you my version. Okay. Listen, what a big fat lie, but sadly you get... Oh, the name of the song is called Animal. Okay. So it starts, what a big fat lie, but sadly you get strangely wild, dude, when I say I'm off limits, I'm off. Let's start again, because I burped twice there. Okay. What a big fat lie, but sadly you get strangely wild, dude, when I say I'm off limits, I'm off. Zaga, your days turn tonight, the day Satan with Eve collided, ate the fruit, explored truths and faults, reduced us to animals. A big I'm not gonna explain this, it's self-explanatory. Okay, alrighty. Dude, I know the one true way now, but you're delayed while on my way. I'm cleansed by truth. Tell yourself I'm gonna con her. I'm gonna get to her forbidden fruit. On the out, I look humble, but inwardly wither away, bearing no fruit. Like an animal will hunt her, yeah, by saying things like I'm praying for ya. All you buggers be out just sliding into my DM, stay away. What? No, this is now me speaking. I have a boss, he's a king, righteous shepherd of the sheep. Boomerang, boomerang, send you back, I'm in too deep. Filthy plans, Christian slang, dude, I see it's all an act. Wanna hog, he was flogged, so your evil will be fact. What a big fat lie, but sadly you get strangely wild, dude, when I say I'm off limits, I'm off. Zaga, your days turn tonight, and the day Satan with Eve collided, ate the fruit, explored truths and faults, reduced us to animals. Okay. Then the next verse, so you do not even suit her. That's the thing. You are gross. Anyway, whatever. So you do not even suit her. Twist and bend and twist the word around. Treat her like she's in danger, so she can trust you while you steal her righteous crown. At times use her demographic, the fact that I'm black, to make her feel that she's unlikely gonna win. But all I want in heaven's camera, oh, equal protection, don't experiment. I have a boss, he's a king, righteous shepherd of the sheep. Boomerang, boomerang, send you back, I'm in too deep. Filthy plans, Christian slang, dude, I see it's all an act. Wanna hog, he was flogged, so your evil will be fact. What a big fat lie, but sadly you get strangely wild, dude, when I say I'm off limits, I'm off. Gaza, your days turned tonight, the day Satan with Eve collided, ate the fruit, explored truths and faults, reduced us to animals. His agape loved betrothed me, but you're crass. He'll be throwing us the banquet of all time. To death and Hades he holds the key. You're at risk, a place where only fallen angels should pour down. Kill your pride, embrace the lion. Or big man, you'll be in a fiery sea. Or big man, you'll boil in a fiery sea. On the devil you're relying, no. He has no filling, you will starve, give Christ love. Drop your boss, he's a false fallen leader for wolf packs. Boomerang, boomerang, on him you must turn your back. Ditch your slang for real thanks, since you don't know how to act. Christ was flogged, he's your rock, sign with him a better pact. Don't believe the lie, 'cause Satan with it vandalized to make you think God's flawed. Your soul is still lost. Gaza, walk from dark to light. That's when you'll see how glorified a godly life upholds faithful thoughts. namely that you're not an animal. Da 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 da. That's too minimal. Da 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 da. Like proper, be rebuked. If you are unrebukable, like Sanandabanani, I'm trying to snatch you from the flames of hell, so do what you want to do. Okay, the next song is Monica's Gone, So Gone, 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 Gone Over You, You. That one. It's a song basically about how it is that I like proper, the rapture is about to happen, and I will have wasted all of my time high on you. I will have invested hours basically even trying real hard to do some like thumbnails that are impressive for you to click on, and then you will have bewitched and living to that side of my ministry, try to take me as a wife, even though you are a licentious beast of a man that's giving literally everybody, every woman in these streets a hard life. You're making everybody Annie. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's a hard knock life at the hands of occult men about 12. Just like it. All the best. So this here is a song basically lamenting about how it is that I've been trying on you guys, and really, look at my YouTube channel, Frozen, same numbers from 2 months ago, just working, grinding, doing shorts, uploading, editing, still chilling on the exact same numbers as 2 months ago. And I know that YouTube ain't done that to me. You are high on some supply of Satan, and on top of the marijuana there is JS fluid, methylated spirits, nyaupe, seba, sunlight, dishwashing liquid, angazi, manala, nails, yeah, out there ground into a fine powder, and then belitsuba. That's what you're high on. Yeah, you are thoroughly that high to think that God Almighty has forsaken me at your mercy. Do you think this world is safe when you can do this to a person? I am a monument, an example, a big one. Do you understand? And y'all are about to enter into eternal condemnation. Yadi healing. You are about to burn before the rapture even happens. God will not give you a sign. A wicked and a perverse generation seeks after a sign. God is not going to give you a sign. He's not going to give you the rapture. The ones who have done this to me now, you are going to die. Anyway, let me just continue with this because I have some explanations to give you. Like, yo, my ministry is going to become mammoth, but much like the way that a celebrity that has just passed away suddenly starts to sell millions of copies of the last album that they produced. Yeah, that's how it is. That I'm going to blow up, but instead of it being death, it's gonna be the rapture. So all these blockages, it's for your condemnation, not so much for my sorrow. You will kill each other off. You will send each other to eternity. Don't say I didn't warn you. You are Freemasons, but you claim you're Christian. You have been born again since you were 2 years old, and yet you are busy. You give your wives a hard time. Don't nobody move. When you walk in the room, you're like Godzilla. One footstep shakes the street. Hey, Godzilla when abuti. Yeah, when King Kong. When uyimela plague. Kwena di earthquake or volcano or napula when you that thing, you that natural disaster everywhere you go. You think Uguti, God is going to leave the world at your mercy? You are naive, occult men. You are naive. It's men in particular that I'm speaking to right now. You are so used to getting everything you want on a silver platter to a point where want, oppression, lack, limo tise on some. There's no way out of this other than through me. Sis man lanyonsa. Nando's chicken and granting on top of my body. Can't allow that thing because I don't know, I cannot chill it. Hey man, you're like Luke, is it Lucas in that movie where that woman was constantly being slapped? Is it Diary of a Mad Black Woman or what? I could say some dude that actually trying to force marry Umfazi, that he keeps on slapping city, keeps on tumparing a woman. The woman needs to get out. And he's like, you are gonna marry me. She pours porridge on his face. Yeah. What do they call them in America? Grits. Like hot grits. Yeah. Type thing. And then whams him with that pan on the head. Trying to force marry a woman that you have beaten to a pulp. What kind of a marriage is that gonna be? You are disrespectful. You are disrespectful. To go and marry a man that literally beat me to a pulp before I finally agreed to marry him. Yeah. Last time. Anyway, Monica's So Gone. Let's go on right ahead and sing. But first let me touch up my lip gloss. Yeah. I did a video. The content that I actually uploaded just tonight. Yeah, Beetlejuice. I spoke about Beetlejuice, this bugger that's out here trying to force marry a woman. You are like Beetlejuice. Perverts from here to Timbuktu. But you are getting a whole bunch of money. Using occult magic. And you are out here putting metal plates on women's mouths, zippers on their mouths, who are saying, no, I don't want to marry you, but hey, you Beetlejuice. So because you Beetlejuice, you won't take what you want. That's what's good. You Beetlejuice. Yeah. Go on, Beetlejuice. Continue to grab the women of the world, Beetlejuicean men. But understand, the moment you step on the toes of God's daughters, that's when you start to die. Black man padile, in, out, scotch. That's what's good. On worldly women's heads, the moment you start to play that game, the moment you make the top of a woman's head that is born again, board game Monopoly, yeah, that's when you start to pass away. Get dead end. Final destination. The Christian woman is the final destination. Monica's song speaks about just irritation with having evangelized people that just don't make sense. Moving on. Okay, it goes a little something like this. So gone, hopeless you. New creation says, okay, silly of me. Devoted so much time trying to win you favor for him. I nearly lost my mind. I strove past your thoughts every night. They were marked by guile. Unsure what Satan has on guard to make you lose your soul. You make me feel I'm so gone. So gone. You made me feel, oh, when I cried for your soul. So lost. Nights I couldn't sleep. You made the king take me home. I asked the Lord over again, am my soul winning wrong? To make you loathe my Christ and not heed your call. What has Satan given you to make you not think to call his throne? What is Satan only feeling? Cry out to Mudimu despite the fact that you're so lost. Marley busy granting Yavuma. We're seeking all the best. What has Satan given you to make you not think to call his throne? You made me feel so forlorn, so cold. You made me feel, oh, when I strove, I tried for you so badly. So gone, Listen to this. Listen to Christ, so my roar is thick. Sometimes I have to fight, cause hellfire sticks. Worldliness deceiving you till Christ you diss. Made us meet the King in clouds, then heaven sit. Kick down your idols and smack your diss. Just to show you Jesus Christ in heaven it. He's so in love with you, so tribulation hit. So fooled, your folly got you tricked. What Satan did made you bitter. Ooh, oh. What he planted gave you trauma. What he did wasn't real, but damns forever. Only heaven's forever. What Christ did is much better. Yeah. Those who loved him now are covered. Yeah, ooh. Salvation real, lasting and forever. Eternally sealed. Ooh. Oh, I tried to love you sadly. Oh, but you chose abuse so badly. Oh, how the Lord did call you daily. Ooh, oh, how I tried to love you sadly. Oh, but you chose abuse so badly. Oh, how the Lord did call you early. You made saints feel they were so gone, so ooh, why you made us feel, oh, how we tried to love you sadly. Ooh, now we're gone. Ooh, you said that we need ya. We've never needed you. Cause Jesus was with us. Ooh, oh. Now tribulation will teach ya who you really need, fool. Only Jesus will free ya. Yeah, now you know how it feels. Oh, and I tried so badly. Oh, we tried to reach you sadly. Oh, how we worked so hard for you. Oh, anyway, Moshizkati nje phela on rubbish. Anyway, keeping it this one. Okay, the next one is 1+1 yeah, Beyonce. I've already explained this song to you guys before, but this year it was something that was reverberated yet again because it's happening. Dream on dream, I'm thinking that it's not. Okay, right. 1+1 yeah, Beyonce. My little piece of paper is broken and I need it. I need sellotape. Okay, let's get into it. If Christ faints, I'm nothing, but he is true. If Christ faints, then all things are as good as damned, but he's risen, that's proof. I'm being told much that's so cancerous, but my hope is the one whose iron fist rules, and his seed is truth. That's all we'll have when this world is through, 'cause lately we ain't got nothing but his love. Startling rules, God rebuffs for our broken hearts. So hold on firmly, make Hades real. These last days look broke. Pull Jesus close and don't let him go. Make heaven release so that these wars and rumors of wars, we will be above them all. Lights high, steady in Christ release. Peace exceeds these needs. Oh, Lord, make yours the peace. Peace, peace, peace. Stay. They boast so much about guns, but nah, I've the sword of truth. Stay. And they all fear when they gon' die, but I don't. But I know that I have died in you. Stay. And they don't know when to stop fighting, but I know I'm a conqueror in you. Stay. Just when they ball up their fists again, I'm prized, for I'm laying right next to you, steady in Christ, and crimes are hunting that love. But daring you, God rebuff those that burn your dust. Ooh, make Hades real. These last days look broke. Pull Jesus close and don't let him go. Make heaven release so that these wars and rumors of wars, we will be above them all. Though they may disregard, make eyes to see. See, 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 see. Oh, Lord, make eyes to see. See, see, see. And then etc. Whatever. We're going home. Siamba. Yo, got some. We are going home. Is that basic? Okay, the next one is Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, sorry, but I have nothing. Okay, this one makes me choke up, but it's okay. It's all good in the hood. We're gonna live. Let's just go into it. I spare my life, I shake them, oh great I am. Show I'll never change all my colors for fools. I take my life, they made me ask for too much. Just drained out my life and everything that I do. Think I have nowhere to look. They say you're much further. They think I have nowhere to go. A waste you I follow, consecrated to your name. This passion inside, has got me so enslaved. Say there's no way to run. So Lord, won't you close all of their doors? I don't want to hurt anymore. Expose all their lies, since they dare to boldly imagine I'm theirs. They walked all over me.
Said I have nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't know I have you. Diggy-diggy-ding, boom, boom, boom. You see through, right through their hearts of steel. You break down their walls with the strength of your love. Show them you knew how they'd abuse me right through. Okay, I can't be loud. Show them you knew how they'd abuse me right through. Through their malady survive, all scolding to turn from you. Here, Batung. Lord, put in their jaw a hook, dragging them further into deeper pits and holes. Blind guides they'll follow, and then after they have been shamed, your passion, oh Christ, with it show they're enslaved, that there's nowhere to hide, and how forever they'll remember their Savior. But on you they closed all of their doors. It's so late at night, I feel like I'm so loud. I don't want to hear him anymore. I stayed in their lies, then ensnared your saints to unimaginable despair, then walked away from him, despite having nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't keep me closed. Open the door. I don't want to burn anymore. So now the tables have turned. They're in hell now, praying for their lives now that they're there, but cast out in ashen in despair, 'cause they walked away from seed, warned, don't walk away from him, you're ensnared, walk away from sin. And now they have nothing, 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 'cause they wouldn't have you. But Christ did love you. Oh, but you refused. Yeah. This one makes me choke up a little bit, but it's all good in the hood. Because I'm not Whitney Houston, and I'm glad I'm not. Anyway, whatever. Cool beans and bananas. The last one is R. Kelly's Turn Back the Hands of Time. You're about to go to hell. Get chill. Lebodile. So, get guy. Unless, of course, you want to repent, in which case, congratulations, welcome. Heaven rejoices when one sinner repents. Okay, cool beans and bananas. Let's get straight into it. Bum bum bum, ka-za-za-za. Zwing za-za-za. Zwing, 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 za-za. Zwing za-za. Okay, that is the instrumental. Okay. They ask, how did we ever... It's about people being in hell. Did I make mention of that? Yeah. You're gonna get there. Like, you're about to sing this. Okay. They ask, how did we ever let grace slip away? Conscience knowing we'd be singing this song someday. And now we're burning forevermore. Ever since he closed the door. But if Christ did turn back the hands of time, oh, humanity, you'd still love crime. If Christ did turn back the hands of time, your hypocrisy would keep you vile. Strangely, even when history cries and blessings were missed in the wink of an eye, oh, in denial you'd reply with inducing the same suffering. When everyday saints prayed,
Please come back to him. Yea, if Christ did turn back the hands of time, oh, humanity, you'd still build lies. If he did turn back the hands of time, enslaved to sin, you'd ignore the divine who had called you in love, fanned his flame, but your boast was lust, denied him and lied, saw no real wrong in all the things you did, and now you're facing eternal flames all alone. Whoa, if Christ did turn back the hands of time, oh, humanity, your greed would stay wild. If Christ did turn back the hands of time, oh, again and again, him you defy. Oh, you would still reject truth if he did turn back. Keep the saints forlorn. Again, you'd pierce his side if he turned back the hands. Despite there being nothing he wouldn't do for you. Forever hopeless is still hell you would choose. Would not accept him, banned from your heart, no matter how much he loves you. Oh, it would be his will that while crying and dying for you, to take you by the hand while going down to free prisoners, so we'd be released, resurrected just to take you there. You will still not return to him. Whoa, if he did allow you to return so you won't fall, you still never realize how much death on the cross and did for you. Were fooled and schooled, the new warned you. You get my point. Today is the day of salvation, the acceptable day of the Lord. Repent today or perish forever. Long story short, this song is basically an announcement that even if you were to be given another opportunity there in hellfire where you're chilling for all of eternity, you'd literally do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Again, you'd pierce his side if he turned back the hands. Despite there being nothing he wouldn't do for you, you would still sin. So if you don't repent now, don't get to hell and be like, ooh, how did I ever let grace slip away? Conscience knowing I'd be singing this song someday, and now I'm burning forevermore. Ever since he closed the door, God, if only you could turn back the hands of time, I'll repent. No, you wouldn't, because you're not doing it now, are you? You keep getting given the gospel and you're not repenting. You would never do right. You would never. Again, you'd pierce his side if he turned back the hands, despite there being nothing he wouldn't do for you. Down so you would be released. Again, you'd pierce his side. You turn back the hands while going down to free the prisoners. Down so you would be released. You would still do a strange thing, 'cause you were always just nasty. Whoa. I just want to give you another hell song, seeing as you're going there. So I'm giving you something to just sing there forever. Okay? I'm annoyed. I bet you can tell. Anyway, whatever. Mariah Carey's My All. I rewrote that as another hell song about what y'all are about to start thinking. Okay? Once you get to the eternal lake of fire where the worm dieth not, and in that place the smoke of your torment rises up forever, there is weeping and gnashing of teeth for all of it. Like, you get my point. I'm exhausted. Why you froze my YouTube channel? Anyway. Go ahead and twing, 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 twing.
Zaga bwam 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 la. Down by the hallway, did I bound, twing twing twing, wow. I'm thinking of you in these torments, a sorrow drenched in flames. I said it's wrong to love you, 'cause my heart just would not love the light. How I drowned in lies and would not live truth. Now you're not by my side. I'd give my all to have just one more day near truth. I risked my soul to feed my flesh, sin intertwined. It chokes me, 'cause I wouldn't hold on to the memory of your righteous cross. Now I've lost my soul and your love eternal. I'd give my all to have just one more day near truth. I risked my soul to feed my flesh, sin intertwined, 'cause I wouldn't hold on to the memory of your precious cross. Oh, I've lost my soul and your love eternal. The second verse. Jesus, can you hear me? Imagining I'm praying into your ears, and I'll see you clearly, vividly emblazoned in my mind, and yet you're so far, like a distant star. Oh, I wasted my life. I'd give my all to have just one more day on earth. I lost my soul. I was reeled into a bottomless mine, full of pain and no hope, tortured by the memory of the gospel they gave me day and night. I rebelled into the night. Na na pimpin day, da da di di da da, la da da hoo, da 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 hoo, hey, dun 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 hoo, dun dun, yeah yeah. I'd give my all to have just one more chance with you. I'd live each day to praise your holy righteous might. Now I can't go on in these flames, but eternally they'll burn. Oh, why did I not give my all to Christ? Give my all to the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, y'all are gonna be singing that. The next one is Halsey's, what do you call that? Found You When My Heart Was Broke. I think it's called Without You or something. This also speaks about all these guys trying to orchestrate my release. You thoroughly like incarcerate me in chains, and then next thing you try to set me free. You kidnap me, then you orchestrate my rescue. Let's just sing it anyway, sing as we're singing. Found Christ when my heart was broke, then filled your cup until it overflowed. Took it so far to bring you hope. I was afraid to leave you in a hole. I said he'll catch you if you fall, and if they laugh then you're installed. For if you get down on your knees, pray your soul will be released. But you laughed, then took advantage of me. You laughed and then took advantage of me. Now you're exposed and I'm sitting up there. You were so blind, now I'm far away, can't hold me. You know Jesus Christ has put me up there. Flew in the sky, heaven never gets lonely. Shade you past, you said you could live without me. Now you can't even sit thinking about me.
Christ took me back and he put me up there. And you don't know why, but you do know why. Forsaken, you thought I could never live without you. A Messiah you created out of you. Jesus is the one who took me back home. And you know why. It's 'cause you were fake and abusive. Gave your soul about 100 tries, just running from the demons in your mind. Then I took your loss and made it mine. For your protection, I gained suicide. I tried to catch you, you still fell. And then you laughed and called me false. A true disciple on her knees made her grovel at your feet, just so you could orchestrate her release. Listen to that. A true disciple on her knees made her grovel at your feet, just so you could orchestrate her release. Saboteurs. And now you've been shamed, my saints are up here. This is Christ now singing. Now you've been shamed, my saints are up here. A cult made you high, reprobate, you cannot hold me. You know I'm the one that put them up there, magnetized into the sky by the one who made them holy. You thought that you could live without me. Through many ways, ignore that I am he. Rebel, I'm the one who could put you to there. No use in crying, turn so you will not die. Your thoughts are futile, you can never live without me. Choose life so you can live beside me. Child, I'm the one who can give you your share. You can drink my wine, yeah. You don't have to say just what you did, I already know. I'm God, I know the last from the first. So tell me, will you live? Oh. Now this is them singing. Jesus, I'm so broken, sitting down here. I was so blind, now I feel like you've replaced me. You know I'm the one who put your saints there. Made them cry, kept them broken and so lonely, thinking I could make them live just like me. Hurt them so they compromise like me. Lord, now I'm drained by the wickedness here, and I don't know why, but I do know why. Yeah, so that song is about how it is that you're gonna cry after the rapture has happened. Those of you who are still alive, but some of y'all are gonna die before then. I'm just saying, okay? Been working for you. I'm going home. I'm leaving. I'm getting the step in. Anyway, I want to sing this last one. Get Beyonce to speak to the men that wreaked havoc in my life. Is this song here? I ain't even. Where's the rest of the song? Where is it? Since I can't go on and pretend like I haven't tried to forget this. I'm doing the best that I can. I tried to forget this. I'm too full of resentment. Yeah, got it. A human sacrifice. Yeah, okay. I found it. It's about these men who are trying to come into my life and say, I'll do better. But your slate, your slate is so whack. Like, do you think that God made me wait on, like, everything that I'm waiting for? So there's some dude, or this healer, that's out here, wiping his grimy hands, can come in and be like, I realize I made mistakes 20 years ago. The same sobriety that God gave me 20 years ago, or let's rather say 13 years ago, the same sobriety that God gave me 13 years ago, could he not have given it to a man? He could have. You keep on bewitching a man that is not even in my life yet. So, of course, you are ascertaining that nobody rocks up here, all links gone with a clean slate. You are trying to make sure that some deadbeat dude, Nick Cannon, out here with 25 baby mamas in these streets. Yeah. And then come and make me baby mama number 26, and I will realize that, but he's a prodigal, he's come back home. Blomang, and he's by. And that's what the song is about. It goes a little something like this. Moving on. I wish I could believe you. It's resentment, yeah, Beyonce. I wish I could believe you. My future was bright, but now everything I worked for really don't apply. I'm basically crying that you took everything away from me only for you to try and come into my life. Like, nah, relax. I'm too full of resentment, okay? I wish I could believe you. My future was bright, but now everything I worked for really don't apply. All your ways have sterilized. Loving you erased me, wasted all my time, while all my suspicions of you boldly were denied. 'cause it's all to darkness tied. I'm only human and finite. Redeemed, I'm in Christ, but pretend I can't. Over and over forgiving this, but I'm much too full of resentment. I'm struggling to get over the way you hurt me. My spirit is willing, but my flesh boldly swings my fist at your sins that coerce me. I'm trying to forgive you, and I know you're enslaved. As much as I keep on praying for you, where am I? Yeah, as much as I keep on praying for you, you still stay in shame. And it's all 'cause of your disguise. And it's all 'cause of your disguise. Death in me gives me a hard time, since I can't go on and pretend like Hey, Batu, I lost the rest of the song. Oh, I ain't enraged, have a snake's hiss. Okay, let's get back. Where am I? Death in me gives me a hard time, since I can't go on and pretend like I ain't enraged, have a snake's hiss from being overwhelmed with resentment. Forgiven but may never get why I'm doing the best that I can in Christ, but cold and entitled they forced hell's kiss by robbing me of my contentment. I'll always remember feeling like earth was no good, like I couldn't live here and thrive, made this world so cold, all because I turned to Christ, hated my redemption. Okay, alright. Forgiven may never get why I'm doing the best that I can in Christ, but cold and entitled they forced house kiss by robbing me of my contentment. I'll always remember feeling like earth was no good, like I couldn't live here and thrive, made this world so cold, all because I turned to Christ, hated my redemption more than your own soul. The best part of me you cursed and cursed, a human sacrifice, and it's all 'cause you loved your lies. Now Christ is giving you hard times, 'cause you wouldn't heed and pretend like you tried to embrace me, but I was too full of judgment. Okay, yeah, that's where it goes, right? And then this is the quiet part. I know you loved approval, but I was here first. To some I was woven for years. Why did I deserve to be treated this way by friends and family? I know the Lord is mourning, disciples bleed. They've been crying for too long. When will we be reprieved? For years they've been so strong. The devil wants their souls. They're crying, can't stop crying, can't stop crying. He will exalt me and make me happy. I know they try to fool me, but he's my inheritance now. I only look into his eyes and see what he has for me. Don't waste your lives. So that's that song. That last part, I kind of messed it up. Okay. I know you loved approval, but I was here first. To some I was woven for years. Why did I deserve to be treated this way by friends and family? I know to be treated this way by friends and family. I know the Lord is mourning, disciples bleed. They've been crying for too long. When will we be reprieved? For years we've been so strong. The devil wants their souls. For years they've been so strong. The devil wants their souls. They're crying, can't stop crying. They can't stop crying. He will exalt me and make me happy. I know they try to fool me, but he's my inheritance now. I only look into his eyes and see what he has for me. Don't waste your lies. Ooh, That's it, y'all. That's it. I sang more than I intended, but we're done here. We are done. We're going home. Yo, you know, last night, let me tell you, Uguti, what spurred this reaction. This is a reaction. This video is a reaction. Do you understand? This morning, I woke up to recall a dream where, I'm sorry if I'm grossing you out. I woke up to recall a dream where it is that the session of exercise, Monday, or Tuesday, remember? I had skipped exercise and then I went back to exercise. I skipped it and I was all frantic in one of my videos. The first day back, which really was just like one day of skipping exercise, so it wasn't really like I was back because I never really left. Yeah, that's what's good. That day, that exercise video, if anything, is the one that is uploaded today. That's what's good. I had a dream of me in that mode, in that exercise video. Yeah, and I fell to the ground while exercising, dead. And as I landed on the ground, my palm that was clenched, opened because I was dead now. And inside my palm were wheat seeds. They were wheat seeds. So seeds for wheat. And I had a whole bunch of them that as I fell to the ground, dead, these fell out of my hand. I had been killed from some mysterious disease. Something that made me fall and die while working out. And in my hand, I was carrying seeds to plant wheat. In other words, the gospel seed, bread of life, killed before I could plant them. When I woke up from that dream, I was like, what in the world, God? I know there's a death spell operating and stuff, and a lot of them at the same time, but what in the world was that particular dream? Because it was just so poignant, and there was so much brightness in it, that it showed me that that was what God is showing me is happening, rather than what the devil is trying to show me they're trying to do. I was like, God, they're trying to kill me, so what's the solution? Why do they think I can die? Why do they feel so strongly like I can die? In the middle of exercise, I have not been checking my stats. I've not been checking my numbers because I don't want to be discouraged from doing shorts. I don't want to be discouraged from doing the work that I'm doing. Because I noticed some time ago that all of a sudden my YouTube channel was frozen. Channels, all of them, all 5 actually. I've got 5 YouTube channels. One of them is for fitness, 4 are for ministry, and I upload the same content across all 4 channels. I have not been wanting to check my stats in order that I might not be discouraged. So I've just been doing this work that I'm doing, going out on a limb and reporting what I report as God is showing me daily, confirming that we are going home. And I've been asking God over and over again, God, are we really going home? Are we really going home? Is there a future? Are we really going home? Are we really going home? The Lord has been building up my faith these past few weeks where I've been uploading with my content going absolutely nowhere, to confirm that we are definitely going home. And he has just been pulsating it like no man's business. So I am in a space now where I recognize I'm not going anywhere but home. There's nothing happening here but the rapture. Nothing but the rapture. Yeah, that's what's good. So I got to that point of faith, meaning that I stopped in the season of uploading every day and working so hard to do shorts despite knowing that my work goes nowhere. Over a amount of hours I invest in all of my work. Yeah, I'm doing it by faith, right? And that built up more faith in me. So therefore, I have divorced myself from the hope that there is a future on earth, on this side. I've divorced myself from it. I have literally grown up now. I'm a big girl. I've gained resilience. I have stopped hoping for subscribers. That's why I stopped doing 1 and 2 parts, because it's just adding more edits to me. It's unnecessary. I could record a video for 3.5 hours here and people would still watch it at the time when it's time to watch it. So right now I've been cutting them into 2 parts, exasperating myself with edits, exasperating myself with doing a recap in the second part unnecessarily, because not only are people going to interpret the language that I speak, if I'm speaking in Tswana, right, to English for other people, but so too are people gonna, like I said, sit outside of any video that I have done, even if it's 3 hours long, like they're watching the movie Titanic. They are going to listen from beginning to end, maybe taking bathroom breaks in the middle, but they will finish everything. They will finish everything. They will watch to the end. If anything, there's a day when I did a video that was bordering on being 2 hours long, and I was scared that nobody's gonna watch it. And at the end of that video, the Lord literally said it to me audibly by the Holy Spirit. Watched to the end. Watched till the end. So in other words, he's telling me that my content is going to be watched all the way to the very, very, very end. Is anybody watching my content to the end now? Heck no. Right now, I've got binary code. As in 1s and 0s. As in ain't nobody watching me. And the binary code, the few people that do watch me, it is Satan. They're Satan's servants. They're disciples of the devil. They are monitoring spirits. They are former friends. Some of them are family members.
There are people I don't know, complete strangers that are coming to monitor my YouTube channel to check to see if I'm going nowhere. They are hoping to rock up and see, and basically, Karabo has not uploaded for 3 weeks, 5 weeks. We finally shut her up. And then they come and they watch my videos from beginning to end. Some of them have severe conviction, they're scared, all that jazz, but I've got a filthy audience of eyes. I've got wicked men and women watching my content. Not Gaufela. Yes, of course, there is 1 or 2, like a remnant, negligible, of people that are watching me. Some of them are my subscribers, alright, that are supportive in heart and spirit, all that jazz. Mara, they are negligible. The people who watch me who have got good eyes, who are not out to get me, trying to pounce on me like nasty beasts, they are far outnumbered by the satani, by the occult, by the Tobatsagale, by monsters from long ago that I used to know. And some of them I didn't even know. Marabaloya from the internet, like I said, Helen of Troy, face that launched 1,000 ships. They are out here fighting over one woman, Balbangat. That's what's good. And they've been wearing guilt, but they've not been repenting. I've spoken about a worldly guilt that leads to destruction. I don't care for it. Nobody cares for it. In heaven, don't nobody care if you're guilty because you failed. Don't tell me you're sorry because you're not. Type setup thing. People who are guilty but are unprepared to respond to that guilt with repentance are just as worthless as unfazed by their sin. Nothing matters of them. According to God, it's a worldly guilt that leads to death, and really whatever. Do you guys? Nobody cares. Yeah, just leave. Nobody cares about a worldly guilt that leads to just a sobbing idiot that's not going to do anything better by the random activity, who will then go on right ahead to conclude that this here is a necessary evil. We just got to finish this off. Even though it sucks, it's really bad, there's no way that I'm going to let Karabo go and get married as if though my entire destiny is in your hand. All these people that think that they've cursed my destiny, why have you not been asking yourselves, that causes us to succeed so much with witchcraft? The way that these people have so prospered to block my life on all sides, despite me being Hlongwane, when they know that they've been having a hard time with Christians to block them, to curse them. Do you not see that I'm a monument? Do you not see that I am an example? I am something that God is using to judge them. I am a strong delusion. I am the final destination for them. I'm the last thing they will see before they enter eternity. My life is a monument. My story is a selection. I already spoke about this. Like I said, I keep repeating myself, where it is that God has used his servants in history to emulate or depict what he's doing with a people, and those servants of his will endure a handsome amount of hell on earth because God is using them as a monument, an example. Hosea was one. He was made as a righteous man to marry a harlot, a prostitute. His life was made a hard knock life like Annie, because God wanted to display his love for Israel, how it is that they're the harlot and he is like Hosea, righteous, pure, and yet always having to fetch a defiled wife. So Hosea's life was made hard. It's not that Hosea's prayers for a godly wife were not answered. It's that God would see it fit to use Hosea as an example for what he's about to do to Israel. And then there is, I believe it was Jeremiah that walked around naked. Is it Jeremiah? Was it Jeremiah or Ezekiel? It was definitely Jeremiah, who was made to walk around naked to display that the people of God are going to be exiled out of Babylon in fetters and chains. They're going to be exiled out of the land for their sin, naked. And so he walked around naked. And he looked like, I guess he probably looked just like really like weird, walking around and robed and what have you. And it probably was not something that pleased him to do, but that was what the Lord would have him do. He used it as a metaphor, an analogy to display what he would do with his people later on. And ultimately, lo and behold, just like clockwork, the way that it was predicted by Jeremiah, the people of God were exiled out of their land. They lost everything, held captive by, was it the Babylonians or what? Yeah, naked, in fetters and chains, in single file, being out here carried and into captivity, essentially. Yeah. And then another case in point, Naaman was given, what do you call this, leprosy. He was a king that lived around with leprosy. Naaman lived with leprosy, and even though he was a king, everybody out here looked at him like he like proper. When you're leprous, nobody's trying to touch you, right? Everybody's avoiding you. Yeah, but then Naaman out here pleaded and begged at a prophet's door. I think the prophet in question here was Elijah, but I stand corrected. Elijah ultimately, after Naaman was knocking and pleading with him to help him out with his leprosy so that he can not be struggling with this, he told him, go and bathe in the river Jordan 7 times. And he did just that. And after coming out of the 7th bathing stint, it's described of him in the scriptures that not only was the leprosy cleansed from him, but his skin was like that of a baby. So he was even better than before he got the leprosy. And that story of Naaman was yet another depiction of God using somebody who is a king, royalty essentially, that is otherwise ostracized from his own society,
and avoided by his own people, that will for 7 periods disappear, and when then, or for 7 seasons, dunk himself at the river Jordan for 7 seasons. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then come out having skin as fresh as a baby's. That was an emulative picture of the rapture. Naaman was emulative of the rapture. He had to endure that leprosy. In other words, even though he was a king, he was royalty, he was avoided by his own people. But then he went back to rule over them in a place, in a capacity where he was now received and embraced. That's what's good. And loved. And yeah, you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Only once, however, his skin was restored to that of a baby. We are described in God's word as a royal priesthood and a holy nation. We are royalty. That's what we are. But right now, we are leprous. Renaman. We are leprous. And we are going to be, and you know, the river Jordan was also symbolic because Elijah was captured. He was taken by a chariot of fire at the river Jordan. He never died. So Elijah was one of the people, the few in the scriptures that got raptured. Enoch was another one. That's what's good. Elijah got raptured, right? And he was raptured at the river Jordan, taken by a chariot of fire. He would later get raptured. So the dunking of Naaman in the river Jordan was also depictive of Elijah's rapture. But Naaman was told to dunk himself 7 times. 7 times was he told to dunk himself in that river. The Great Tribulation is 7 years long. So those of y'all who don't believe in the 7-year tribulation or in the pre-tribulation rapture, that story at Naaman is so prophetic to speak of that. It's a typology of a coming time. See it for what it is. See it for what it is, guys. But you know, it's not an essential, so we don't argue about it in the body of Christ. But that story at Naaman is just so incredibly descriptive. And he dunked himself 7 times, evidencing that we are going to be gone for 7 years. Prior to the season, however, of being dunked 7 times, we will have been leprous. We, however, once we come out of that 7-year cycle, are going to return with skin like that of babies. In other words, we're going to have incorruptible bodies. Incorruptible bodies. And this time around, nobody's going to resist our royalty. Nobody's going to resist our authority, our rulership. We are going to rule and reign with Jesus Christ for 1,000 years. And this time, nobody's going to give us attitude. Nobody's going to spit on our shoes. Nobody's going to despise prophesying, despise the gospel, and essentially make us all play the Squid Game because we ain't got no money. That's what's good. Yeah, nobody is going to be putting any saints in any Hunger Games arenas anymore. This time around, we're going to be your overlords. We are going to rule and reign with Jesus Christ for 1,000 years for the little remnant of earthlings that remain after the tribulation has come and gone. Whoever the Lord might have selected to live out the rest of their lives in the tribulation, yeah, we are going to be kings and queens over them, just like Naaman was a king. Naaman was a king. God has perpetually been using typologies of this nature, using his own servants, using people in the scriptures to show what he is doing. So what I am over here, and this situation of mine, the severity of sorrow that I am endured under, you must comprehend. I am living the lifestyle, basically of a tribulation saint. And the tribulation saint, this is what happens to those people. It's unfortunate. They can't buy, they can't sell, they can't do anything. They can't live in their own apartments. They are beleaguered on all sides. People are trying to force stuff down their throats. And if at all they don't want to take the mark of the beast, they die. I am being massacred. I'm being killed. Do you understand? Because I refuse to walk away from the only thing that makes sense for anyone at all to hold fast to. Redemption, Jesus, heaven, the pearl of great price. I can't buy, I can't sell. My YouTube channel has been, all of them, frozen on the exact same. It's eerie, it's so creepy, it's giving horror movie vibes, y'all. Like, if anybody's been watching what's going on with my channel, I sugashem. But they are watching Nightmare on Elm Street, they are watching Freddy Krueger. It's creepy. What's going on with my channel? Yeah, I can't buy, I can't sell. I can't trade, y'all. I can't do jack. I'm like Naaman, leprous, even though I'm a queen. And I'm gonna be dunked for 7 years in some water and come back looking like a baby. And everybody who is still alive, y'all gonna have to understand Utingubani now. Who am I? I will finally be head over you in some capacity. God is gonna give me some authority over you. I will reign with him for 1,000 years, and there is not gonna be anything you're gonna be able to do about it. That is for those of you that are alive, because largely the majority of you are just gonna cease to exist. That's what's good. So, seeing as the Lord is in the business of depicting himself and what he's doing, his plan, through his disciples, do not look at my situation and think, Guguti, I'm going to sit here like shaking like a leaf and what have you. And imagine that God has forsaken me. He hasn't. Every so often, the Lord chooses his servants to endure hardship for the sake of putting through his message. He made Ezekiel's head hard like brass
Because he knew, like Flint, you know what's described of him when he was called? Yeah, because he knew that he would be dealing with an obstinate generation. So Ezekiel was just as strong and butch as the people who were bullying him were strong and butch, so he could not be brought low. Therefore, all of y'all that are trying to like squeeze me to a tight corner, you're messing with never mind a child of the living God, but somebody that's been given the gift of prophecy, and also somebody that is confirming to you right now, as I've been speaking, that we are going home. Sihamba. We're leaving. The rapture is happening, y'all. And I would go so far as to say it's happening this year, but you know, don't nobody know the day of the hour. Yeah, nobody knows the day of the hour, but I do believe that it's happening soon. It can't not happen soon. It can't not happen soon because of how it is that I have lost all encouragement now. Everything that I could ever potentially work for on the planet is gone. Despite, there's gonna come a time when it doesn't matter how hard you work. Insofar as you don't unleash to Satani, you're not gonna be able to make bread. And I already communicated that. That time that is coming, that is a great tribulation. Yeah, it is not going to be based on by the sweat of your brow when you work, and so therefore you get to eat. Yeah, the Bible says that if anybody does not want to work, let them not eat. Those are God's principles, but Satan's principles are if anybody does not want to worship me, let them not eat. God is so gracious, okay, that he common grace gives harvested crop for even those who hate him. But Satan is like, if you don't love me, you don't eat. Whereas God says, if you don't work, and now he's fair, you know what I'm saying? Like, just work, and then you'll get a salary. Yeah, but the devil is going to bring a kingdom on the earth. He's going to rule and reign for like 7 years, okay? Yeah, the last 3.5 of which is going to be spectacularly dark. Yeah, where it is that he's going to say, you don't got to lift a finger, frankly. You could have your food delivered to your plate as you sit there, like twisting on your bed like a door turns on its hinges, the way that you can be nice and lazy, do absolutely nothing and still eat, but you gotta worship me. That's Satan, the opposite of God, the very antithesis of how God would operate. The Lord hates sloth, but the devil doesn't care if you're slothful insofar as you are alleged to him. So all of y'all, I work like in ja, do you understand? Like a little doggy dog, off, bark, bark. Work like a total dog. That's what's good. And despite how much I work like an unja dog, that's what's good. I still am not able to monetize a single thing. There are people like I overheard a conversation, basically God giving me understanding concerning what some of my subscribers are thinking. They're like, this chick by now she would be long ago monetized. They are aware that my situation is eerie. Like I said, this is like watching a horror movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, Annabelle, It's the Clown, something creepy is going on with my life. And they're like, by now she should have monetized. By now she should have monetized. But I should have. But you see, I don't monetize because I'm not allowed to buy or sell. My life is depictive, emulative of the tribulation. And I've been asking God, give me confirmation. Award me confirmation, please. I would love to see it. I have asked the Lord to give me confirmation over and over again. I mean, I keep on going to him, asking for confirmation if we're really going home, And because God is God, and because God is real, and because he will never leave nor forsake me, and because God knows how much I can take in my stride, because the Lord is aware of what is the extremity of hardship that a saint can endure, because Christ also is the one that gave us precepts, okay? He said, thou shalt not murder. So suicide is not an option for God's disciples. Like, he would never ever give his saint relief by imploring them to end themselves. There's always a way out of any temptation, even in the slightest. I then looked at God on some, but Father, if I'm so extremely beleaguered on all sides, squeezed into a tight corner, running out of every last resource, and there is no way under heaven for me to ever acquire anything at all, and everybody is blinded from me, then what is the only way out? And even though I was supposed to mourn, even though I was supposed to reel, even though I was supposed to scream on the spot when I saw that I was going nowhere with my YouTube channel, yet again I've been frozen, all I could conclude was that God would not tempt me, suffer me to be tempted beyond what I am able, so this must mean that is the end. Essentially the freezing of my YouTube channel, rather than it be the thing that's going to finish me off, the thing that's going to make me faint on the dance floor, pass away, stop working out, stop producing shorts, stop doing the work that I'm doing, because I feel like it's a waste of time. What's the point? Nah, rather than do that, I realized that this is confirmation that we are going home. It's confirmation. And it also confirmed just how close we are. Because if at all we weren't so close that it could be tomorrow, God would not have allowed the freezing of my YouTube channel comprehensively, because he knew that it would discourage me too much. It would be too much for me to take. So it must mean that there's literally just mere days, weeks, months, might even be long left. It got me to a point of even saying the rapture is happening this year, because if it wasn't, I would not have been put in this position. I would not have been. The Lord built up my faith. Do you understand what I'm saying? He built me up to confirm to me that the end is coming, and got me speaking all these haughty things about the end of days.
And then only once I got a dream from him where he was showing me fainting and dying. I died with wheat in my hand, seeds to plant. He showed me that whole thing. And I was like, God, what would make me die? And God was like, you know what's the one thing that would cause you to want to die? But you know that I've been encouraging you in a different respect, right? So now go look at your stats. And lo and behold, I go and I look at my stats and I'm still sitting literally, yo guys, the same subscriber numbers that I had 2 months ago are still all up in there. Y'all know that I upload shorts almost every day. I upload long form content every day. I don't skip a day. I do not skip a single day. And there isn't even one new subscriber. I, of course, don't even want to check views. I'm sitting in a strangely, eerily tumbleweed rolling in it channel. And it's not that nobody's watching my videos. It's that nobody's subscribing, nobody anew, nobody afresh, because I've got nefarious, diabolical, beastly, satanic eyes looking at me. Kabang. Imagine me ending up married to a man that did that to me. A man that froze me so much that he's going to be out here huffing and puffing on my body because he's finally going to get to burp a woman that he made so desperate that she finally accepted his proposal. I told you guys the other day that men, I don't know what it is about them, but they just don't care about being loved back by women. For them, it's about control, especially when they're evil. So if a lady is not reciprocating love, they don't care. It's about, I get to have you. It's about control. It's about ownership. So whether or not I don't like him, whether or not I'll be sitting there like a Nando's chicken, absolutely irrelevant. Whether or not I'm going to find him, distasteful, worthless, whether or not I'm going to dislike his 20 kids, it don't matter, because you're mine. I'm the one that won. It's a spawning little primitive game of nastiness. And so for those reasons, it's like, for them it's about the fact that, I get what I want. They are that coercive and on top of that. Psychopaths in the occult. They thrive in causing people so much fear that they can't do anything but take the mark of the beast. And the exquisite threats that are coming at my life, it's just a pin drop in the ocean as to how Satan is going to convince people to take the mark. You know how it is that the mark cannot be forced on a person? You cannot have somebody just jab you with it. Yeah, that's what's good. You are made, you're influenced to accept it. So those who initially reject it are going to be put in the kind of attrition that I'm in, where it is that you have been frozen dry. No new subscribers, nobody viewing your videos, no one therefore likely ever to even donate $100 to you. And the day's gonna come when there's nothing but a tumbleweed and one egg in the refrigerator. Then you will slowly, crawling, nochal, go to the center where they give the mark and take it, just so you can replenish your groceries. They will lead you to that place by influence. They will get you there by influence. And then of course, the day's gonna come when, if you don't want to take it by influence, then you're gonna die. Then it's going to become those that they couldn't get via influence. They then graduate to death, and that's what I saw in my dream. I had fainted. I had died with like little seeds of wheat in my hand. I had died. I had passed away because I refused to take the mark. So basically now that's the guillotine on my neck, right? That's the beheading now. That is, oh, okay. So I couldn't influence you even though there's nothing but one little egg in your fridge? Okay, then die. I told you, these men have made me a Helen of Troy. The face that has launched 1,000 ships. They're all fighting for one woman. And in so fighting for one woman have made themselves like Satan. They've made themselves like Beelzebub. They've made themselves like the man of lawlessness. They've made themselves like the Antichrist. They've made themselves the man of sin. A false Messiah. They have made themselves one who ought to be worshipped. Take my mark or die. Initially, they try to influence me. Didn't work. And because I'm not barging with the influence, now they're saying guillotine. Except you see, because they're all at war with each other for me, they will kill each other unbeknownst to themselves. They will kill a lot of them are about to drop from suicide because the thing about witchcraft is like I said, I'm gonna sit and about how long I speak for. Allow me to explain to you how witchcraft operates, right? In certain respects, there is this guy that I used to think was my future husband. All right, I had mad feelings for him, big feelings. If anything, I was in love with him. I thought he was my future husband. He was a colleague. I worked. He wasn't really a colleague in that sense. He worked in the same organization with me, but we didn't really work together. But I guess you can call him a colleague because he worked for MTN as well. This dude, we had been working around each other for like 5 years, and we had mutual feelings for each other. It was clear, and if at all there was no spiritual manipulation happening in the sky, we very likely might have ended up dating. I don't know if it would have ended up in marriage, because he turned out to be a massive jerk, so I don't think I would have stayed there, right? I would have probably dumped him somewhere along the way, but dating, it could have happened. However, during the time when I was single and he was single, he met some woman, right? These professing Christians that go to church and then next thing they sign deals with cults, whatever. He met a woman at church that he would marry only just a couple of months down the line from the date that he met her. This woman literally spotted him at church and was like, Nyamfuna. Yeah. And then she went to a sangoma to do a ritual to ascertain that any woman that he is presently interested in, he must stop looking at her. She must not matter. This sangoma told this woman to go to a store, wherever she wants to go, and purchase female paraphernalia, anything that would belong to a woman. Female accessories, like earrings, lipsticks, all that jazz, whatever it is that would belong to a woman. Hair ties, shirts, di kwai kwai. Told her to buy things tabasadi. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be cheap. Go Pep, really. You are fine. Go to Ackermans or Pep. You'll be fine. Just as long as it's things for a woman. And then go to a river. Dig up a hole near that river. Bury this paraphernalia there. And for as long as this paraphernalia is in the ground at that river, that woman will be away from the sight of your man. That woman is represented by those clothes in the ground. Whoever it is that he is looking at other than you, yeah, is not going to get any attention from him. So essentially, if that dude had a crush on me, he might have had a crush on 2 other women. Those women were buried at that letamo. The things that people in the occult do. The things that the people in the occult do. Yeah. Told her to hide that paraphernalia, and I had a dream of me. I kept on getting dreams of me being at like a river and there being crocodiles trying to eat me. Go this river. And I was like, God, what is that? What is that? And ultimately he showed me the full dream, where it is that I saw clothing of a woman, lipsticks, paraphernalia of a woman buried in the ground. And God was like, the reason why you are near a river with crocodiles about to maul at you is because your apparent paraphernalia has been buried there. So the man that you think is your future husband is not going to be looking at you anymore. He's not going to be interested in you anymore because you are here and you have been buried from his sight. So that dude from MTN has no idea under heaven that he passed me up because his future wife made him. He passed me up even though he had strong feelings for me because the woman that he married made him pass me up. I was the one buried there. Did that woman know me? No, absolutely not. She didn't know me. She didn't know me from a bar, so she'd never met me. We didn't work in the same company. Like, she didn't know me. She had never met me, ever. Yeah. And yet somehow that spell affected against me. I told you that story to help you understand that if somebody casts a spell on someone where it is that the particular destiny is supposed to happen, that spell is going to catch, and there's nothing that you can do about it on that particular human being. So if a woman is trying to steal a job, a particular position in a company, it won't matter that she doesn't know all the candidates that are vying for it. Those people will just be met with some kind of misfortune that's going to make it impossible for them to get that job. So basically, this is like witchcraft where you are blindly just shooting people down in spite of knowing them. They just get shot down remotely. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then don't get the job. So you've messed with a life, but you never know them. You never knew them. You just keep pressing buttons. Like in that movie, The Box. Just keep pressing a button, only to kill 2 people in remote locations somewhere, only for the thing to come back and kill you later on. You've seen that movie, The Box. It's just like really disturbing. The one with Cameron Diaz and her husband. Press a button. They just keep pressing buttons, shooting down complete strangers, taking opportunities away from people they don't even know, taking husbands from women that have not even met them. So I have had a ritual done on my future husband that is similar to the one that the guy that I used to have feelings for at MTN, his now wife, did on him, where it is that these men have murdered, like killed, like completely killed my husband. I don't know how many times I have dreamt about a man that represents the archetype of my husband just being dead, killed, murdered, before I even meet him. So in other words, whether or not I've met this man is irrelevant. Just by mere virtue of him being in the line of sight for being chosen for me, he then stands to be murdered. But you see, spells of that dastardly nature, they don't work on Christians. So if at all my future husband had that spell cast on him, it would not really work on him. So why is the Lord appearing to let such witchcraft work on me? It is in order to make my life a prototype, a monument for tribulation saints. That's what I'm getting at. It's to help you understand just what under heaven is going to happen here. So I am supposed to not get the husband. I am supposed to not go anywhere, in order that once the rapture happens, people might look up to my story to stay strong in the tribulation and not kill themselves. He who endures to the end will be saved. That's what I am. I'm a monument, just like Hosea. I'm a monument, just like Naaman. I'm a monument, just like Jeremiah. Where it is that I'm in a situation I would much rather not be in. But it is because the Lord is showing something that he's doing. That's what he chose me to do. So I've stopped grumbling against it. I've stopped lamenting. I've accepted that I'm not getting married. I've accepted that I'm not having children. I've accepted it. It took a while. I only recently got over it like a couple of months ago. But ever since I was 26, I've been praying to God for it. Ever since I got born again, I've been asking for all of these things. Only a couple of weeks ago, not even months, goodness, weeks ago, only a couple of weeks ago, I finally took it. I accepted it. I accepted that, okay, so you're not giving me a husband. Okay, fine, so you're not giving me children. Alright, cool. Alright, hurts, but fine, then what do I do? That's what's going on over here. So, because of the position that I find myself in, I'm not scared. So having communicated that then to you, you must then also understand that these men in the occult, your little bullets are going to shoot you each. You are going to kill each other, just like the story I told you with those teenage boys that killed themselves that in my school, in my sister's school, that killed the one boy killed the other boy by mistake and then turned the gun on himself. Y'all are about to pass away at your own hands. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or mistakenly killed by some of the people in the occult trying to, however, target me. Because herein lies the deal. There are men who are so crazy obsessed with with me. Like I said, I'm out here in these streets being a bit of a Helen of Troy. And like, I'm surprised, kind of flattered even, to a certain extent that, whoa, you think I'm that pretty that I would be like Helen of Troy? Have a face that launches ships? Okay, whoa, I should have joined Miss Universe. I should have become Miss South Africa. Like, I should have. If I'm that pretty, like, goodness, I should have probably, like, I should have just gone and become a bit of a jackie. Yeah, guys, I should have joined Miss Africa back in the day, and then I wouldn't be so poor. I'd be a celebrity, you know what I mean? Whatever. But it turns out that apparently I've got a face that launches 1,000 ships, and this little thing has caused all of these men who are launching ships to blindly just curse each other. Like any other man that wants her, let him die. Any other man that wants her, let him die. Well, in the same way that the dude that I used to have a crush on at MTN, his wife made me disappear from his sight, and unbeknownst, however, to him, that she sabotaged our union without even knowing me, so too are there going to be men that are vying for my heart and my attention, that are going to cast spells on each other blindly, unaware to themselves as to who among them they are. They don't know each other. They don't know each other, but they are all casting the same spells on me. And because they're aware that I am apparently Helen of Troy that has a face that launches 1,000 ships, they are aware that there are 20,000 other guys. Not only that, I have said it myself that out of all of you, who's gonna win? So now there are others that they're killing. I told you guys that I had a dream where it is that they were trying to kill my future husband. Now they're killing each other. They're killing whoever else might want me in order to give themselves a unique advantage in this vying for one woman thing. And it's going to work. What I'm trying to explain is that these spells are gonna work. They're gonna work. Just like that battle in the Old Testament of the Hebrews, where it is that they didn't even have to go to war. Their enemies fought each other unto death, and they won that battle because they killed each other. That's exactly how it is that I'm going to be selfish. These men in the occult that are all vying for my attention are going to kill each other to get to me. They are all going to do spells on some, let every guy, Karabo, die or disappear or whatever. And I'm going to be the only one that's still standing. But they're all going to be cursing each other. And the thing that's going to target them with the spell is just the fact that they want me with this witchcraft. So the spells are going to operate against them. These demons are going to come after them. And so some of them are going to get into car accidents, heart attacks, brain aneurysms, suicides. They're basically what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that it's like the murder-suicide. They're going to mistakenly kill the one friend only to turn the gun on themselves and then kill themselves. And then all go to hell in one sitting. Like those two teenage boys from my sister's high school. Yeah, that's how they're gonna die. These men are going to pass away having cursed each other to death. That's how my Father in heaven is going to neutralize every last one of them. They're going to go to war against each other, die, and I will then stand over their bodies as they're piled up and be like, whoa, I guess I don't have to lift a nail. Guess I don't gotta lift a finger. Guess I can file my nails down. They're going to drop like dominoes. And some of their deaths I will hear about. Because some of these guys I will know from past, from history. I will get understanding in the grapevine. But others angbazi, they're just strangers. They're just idiots that are out here targeting a woman they don't know. So I won't find out about them. Yeah, that's what's good. Yeah, but they're gonna die. And they're gonna die the way that the occult kills people. It looks natural. It looks normal. It looks like a heart attack. It looks like a brain aneurysm. It looks like a car accident. It looks like a person just did not wake up in the morning. It looks like a disease. It looks like cancer. The occult kills like that. The way that they kill people look natural. So, by Oshona, these guys, they've literally, the only thing that can stay them from passing away is if they repent and give their lives to Christ, because that's the only way that you get protected from spells just operating on you, knocking you out like a domino. Like someone simply because you applied for a particular position at a job and this person wanted that job, and now you are under a spell because you are a potential candidate for it. Yeah, bewitching you unbeknownst to yourself. Unbeknownst to yourself. They cause so much chaos on the streets. So much. They wreak so much havoc in there. So much. But thank God, they're going to neutralize each other from their rapacity. Their greed is going to end them. They're going to die. Babatam Sadu 1. So all of y'all that are all up in my uncomfortable grill, Lebata Chere 1, that's living the life of a tribulation saint. If you don't repent, you will perish. Because there are men, all of them go fella bang patla, and some of them have cast death spells. You are gonna die. You are going to, like, AKA, somebody gonna come at you from behind your ear and shoot you, thinking that you still gotta go pick up your kid from school while you're plotting, scheming to divorce some fires that did not have it coming. Did not see that one. Bat out of hell. Because you found some chick on the end of your latella man, Litserian. Some chick on the internet, but you're playing chato. I don't know how many dreams I've had of me wearing some ugly little wedding gown next to some ugly menace. You're funny. You're all trying. You're hilarious. You're gross and hilarious. It's funny. Extremely funny. Because you think you can do this. And and another thing, you might imagine that you can protect yourself from death spells operating using your witchcraft. I dare you to keep calling that bluff. Keep going to your sangoma to protect you from death spells when it's God that's killing you. It's written in God's word that who can deliver from God's hand? No one. No one can deliver from God's hand. So if God is going to allow a curse to operate on you, understand that there's nothing that can rescue you unless you cry out to him that he might stay his wrath. The Lord has a thing about repentance. You know how Aaron put his incense, is it incense or his staff? No, it wasn't his staff, it was incense, when that plague was falling in the wilderness, killing all the people of God, because Nebashang, that's what's good. And he then interceded and God stayed. He would have continued to drop them like dominoes if Aaron did not burn that incense. So long story short, you need to be an Aaron to yourself. Burn that incense, because you are going to drop like dominoes, and frankly it is going to be good riddance, relief for na. I can tell you how many times Nike Bonswa headstone go West Park Cemetery. You are naive. I'm not passing away, Mia. Oh, not to me. 1,000 fall on my left, on my side, 10,000 on my right hand, but doesn't come near me. The dude in America, he's buried me in a casket in the US somewhere. He's buried me in a cemetery, somewhere in the US. Yeah, I've seen funeral procession at West Park Cemetery, I don't know how many times, representing Lifulak, like to a point of giving me the detail of the cemetery. West Park. I'm not going anywhere. 1,000 may fall on my side, 10,000 may go on my right hand, but it will not come near me. I'm not going anywhere but for via the Naaman experience, via the Elijah experience. I'm not going anywhere other than via Naaman or Elijah. In other words, River Jordan. I'm getting raptured. I got Hokafal. I'm one of those that get an incorruptible body. I'm one of those that, get caught up in the sky to meet the Lord in the air. Yeah, that's who I is. I was not set apart for death. I was among the few remnant chosen in all of the history of the human race to get caught up in the sky. You will not all die, but some will be changed. I was among those chosen to not die. And I feel grateful for that, because, it's daunting. I'm kind of scared. How does death feel? I would much rather not go through it. And I'm not going to go through it, because I just so happen to have been born in 1984. I just so happen to have been born at the end of days, where it is that the Lord would rapture everybody at his second, before the second, at the rapture, basically, that was born again as at that date being alive. I was chosen to be among the raptured saints, written off in God's book of life, that as it progresses, I was meant to inherit eternal life by not dying. I was supposed to be like Elijah, like many of my brothers who are allowed, my brothers and sisters who are alive today, were also chosen from long ago to inherit a rapture, catching up while alive instead of dead. Yeah, that's what's good. Yeah, and they're a small number, so I feel really blessed to the fact that I don't have to die. And it's an amazing blessing that God has given me, and like a life that never ever ends, because of how strongly people would have done everything in their power to kill me. People would have worked so hard to kill me. Like one of my cousins, her first spell ever, all those many years ago when I was newly saved, was a death spell, like a human sacrifice. I have had people trying to kill me for so long, and the whole time I've been alive. And now there's so many more of these spells. They just keep ramping up. And for somebody that has had that many attempted assassinations on her person to never die, it just says, God is the biggest. He laughs at the wicked.
He laughs at it. If you think also at Elijah, he wanted to die because they wanted to kill him. Like, he was always being pursued for death. May the gods deal with me ever so severely if by this time tomorrow Elijah's not like one of them. That was Jezebel. May the gods deal with me ever so severely if by this time tomorrow Elijah's not like one of them. Speaking of the prophets of Baal, may the gods deal with me ever so severely if by this time tomorrow Elijah is not dead. That was Jezebel out here, pursuing Elijah. The guy, Anzamam Lelekisa, Gadi Tun. Proverbial ones of that time, following him, pursuing him into the wilderness. Poor dude. Poor Elijah. Jojo. Yeah, poor Jojo. Poor Jojo after running away to a point where, just like me, getting to a point where he's like, I take my life then. Where you get suicidal because people want you dead. Where you get suicidal because people don't want you living. Where you end up wanting to die. And as somebody who, never mind, had a lot of suicide ideation and also was pursued by actual, like, fiery darts. Never dies. Never dies. It's just whoop. Vacuumed into the sky. They get raptured. I'm not dying. And I know that I'm not dying. I am so confident that I'm getting raptured that today, during exercise, as I confirmed that we are going home, guess how I confirmed it? I checked my stats and I noticed that I was frozen on the exact same numbers. And instead of floundering and fainting, I was like, this is confirmation, because God would never leave me in this frozen life unless he was planning on extracting me from this circumstance. The Lord will not allow us to be tempted beyond what we are able. He cuts the days even of the tribulation short for the sake of his elect. So he would not linger my tribulation for just an ongoing time, Jeffel. This year is not something that God's going to just keep going. He can't. He won't. It's out of his nature. He's planning on extracting Lot out of Sodom and then raining fire and brimstone. About 2-3 nights ago, I literally had a dream of 4 horsemen of the apocalypse riding out. They started to gallop. I forgot about it. And I only remembered it yesterday. I wanted to raise it in yesterday's video, but I forgot during the video. And now I'm telling you that I had a dream of 4 of the horsemen being unleashed. They started to gallop. Guys, we're going home. Ratamai. And a whole chunk of you that are watching my videos on the side of the rapture, you're not even going to see it because you're going to die very soon. And what kept me going? Recognizing that we are at the end. I therefore jumped up and down, and while I was exercising, I even cut in the middle of my exercise. I came to explain why I was excited in my exercise. Yeah. And I went so far as to say, I believe the rapture is happening this year. I went so far as to literally guess a day and an hour type setup thing. That's what's good. Well, not an hour, but maybe a day. Not even a day or an hour, just a season. I said this year. That's what's good. I said in that video that it has got to happen this year. Why? Because it's impossible for God to leave me in this position. Because for the sake of the elect of God, the Lord would cut the days of the tribulation short. And I'm aware that my life is tribulation sainty. It is the life of a tribulation saint. And for my sake, he will cut this suffering short. He's not going to let me just be unable to buy or sell, trade, do anything. And he's also not going to let me commit suicide. He will not let me go out like that. Especially considering I've prayed to him time and time again. Do not let me take my own life. Don't let me get so despaired that I would end my own life. And I was miraculously okay after seeing my stats. If anything, I got happy because I discovered that God confirmed to me that we're going home. Razamaya, y'all. We are leaving. So I'm still doing my work as I'm doing it. I'm still recording shorts. I'm still working hard because during the season of discovering that I'm still frozen on the same exact YouTube numbers, I was like, then who am I working for? The place I graduated to was, who am I working for then? If I am not working for people now, who am I working for? The Lord God Almighty has told me time and time again, and I've already come here to communicate that very thing in my ministry. I've said it over and over again. God showed me that my YouTube channel is going to not only be massive one day, but that it's going to be star-studded. That's literally the word that he used, or the compound word. He said my YouTube channel is going to be star-studded. He's also telling me not to exasperate myself too much by uploading on too many platforms. That's why I stopped uploading on Facebook. I stopped because it just takes a lot out of me. And given that it's all frozen, it's going nowhere. Have been all up and freezing everything everywhere. God basically just gave me we say YouTube, it's fine. You can upload on YouTube alone because that's all that's needed. That's all that will be necessary. There are people who believe that as soon as the rapture has happened, YouTube is going to censor all Christian content. No, it's going to take time before they bring stuff down. People are ultimately going to bring stuff down. I have had so many dreams and visions of seeing, I don't know if you guys have seen the music video, Pharrell Williams, called Happy on YouTube. It's got a B on it. It's got like 2B or 1B or 3B. Essentially, 2 billion people have watched it. I don't know how many times the Lord has showed me some of my videos having a B next to it, and not just some of my videos, but some of my brethren's videos. Channels that were negligible, that people were not watching, people that were sitting on 500 subscribers at the date of the rapture, people who were sitting on 200 views per video at the date of the rapture are going to have some of their videos literally be sitting in 1B. Or yeah, basically like a billion people have watched this video. It's going to be this virality of YouTube, of Christian content that's going to make social media platforms want to double down on Christian content and then finally censor us based on their narrative. But by then, so many people will have downloaded content. There is this guy that I absolutely love the videos of, the shorts. They're very entertaining. You would know him probably, because there's no one that doesn't know him on YouTube. His name is Daniel LaBelle. Daniel LaBelle. So he does these really funny little shorts on YouTube and also long form content. He is huge. He's massive. Okay. And he has produced, one of his shorts is the most viewed on YouTube. Daniel LaBelle. He even excelled beyond Mr. Beast in that regard. Really talented content creator. Clean, good, fun content that you can go and check out. I would even recommend that you go watch him if you want to just get away from it all. All right. Daniel LaBelle is excellent. I love him. I have had the Lord communicate to me time and time again that your shorts are going to be like those of Daniel LaBelle. I was like, no way, God, never, never. Not only has the Lord compared me to Daniel LaBelle, but he's also compared me to, who is this, Black Okie. Absolutely, I love him too. Kabi Lame. Kabi Lame. I don't know how you pronounce his name. The one who does those, you know, like showing people this is obvious type thing. Kabi. Yeah, like Kabi too. He has compared me to Kabi Lame. He has compared me to Daniel LaBelle. Basically people who are huge on the internet, whose single shorts have got millions of likes and sometimes even billions of views. And I was like, when will I ever be Daniel LaBelle? When will anybody ever make out of my shorts? Kabi Lame's shorts. Who? Like, nobody actually looking at me like that. Like, don't nobody care type thing. Yeah, I've also been compared to, who's this? William. Yeah, some dude from Botswana. What's it? But sometimes he's very perverted, so I'm not too big a fan of William. Not all the time. Sometimes he's like good, but some of his content is licentious and like he can get perverted. Anyway, whatever. William too, like type thing. He's also got like billions of like lots and lots of views for his video. Basically, these people who just produce this content and they just are flying. They're soaring today. I was like, God, when am I ever gonna be like Pharrell Williams with one music video being happy, like the happy music video having 1 billion views? When am I ever going to? And no, he has compared me to, you know how there are people who drop a song on YouTube, and within a month it's got like B on it, like Adele is one such person. He's compared me to Adele. He has compared me to Kabi Lame. He's compared me to Daniel LaBelle. He's compared me to William. He has compared me to massive YouTubers whose one short after 5 hours is already sitting on millions of views. And I was like, at what stage am I going to be that chick? When are people ever going to embrace the gospel like that? When are people ever going to love you that much? And again, never mind you, me. Like, when are people, like, I'm so persecuted, I'm so beleaguered, and I'm just so badly treated. Like, everything of mine sucks. Like, when is anybody ever going to listen to me for long periods of time? I can be long winding. And God was like, that's just what's going to happen when prophecies get fulfilled that you have spoken, you and your brothers and sisters across the world, that will be taken. You will be such a crazy remnant. There will be so few of you. There will be so few of you that those of you who were on social media, people are going to flood to your channels because you're going to be the only people trusted. They're going to abandon ministries of people who were left behind. They will not want to hear what they have to say, even if they were sound. I told you guys about Jackie Hill Perry being left behind. Even though her content is good and it's sober, it's sound, they're going to ignore her because she's mixing Christianity with witchcraft. From what the Lord showed me, she's mixing. One mix, totally. And because one mixer, it won't matter that there is, that her content is true, that her message is right, that her theology is intact. It won't matter, because what's going to matter is what's going to give people a good reputation to listen to as Christians that can give them an idea of what in the world God was doing is the fact that they left. Just the fact that they have been taken in the rapture is going to cause their social media accounts to bomb. So finally, I'm going to get an email from YouTube for monetization, but I'm going to be somewhere else. Finally, that email that I've been waiting with bated breath to get, it'll come. But I'm not going to be out here monetizing.
maybe if my mom can crack my email address, she can try and monetize my YouTube channel and help herself along. But I'm gonna be gone. I'm going to be gone. So with the Lord having confirmed to me, no, I told you guys that my shorts, God compared them to, especially Daniel LaBelle, okay, type establishment thing. He also told me that my ministry is going to be star-studded, as in celebrities. Lots and lots of celebrities are going to watch me, and many of them are going to get saved. From this country, I've seen Boiti Chulo coming around to Christ because of my ministry. In the US, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Brad Pitt. I have communicated these people before, as the Lord showing me. I have seen Morris Chestnut getting an interest in my ministry, however, being apprehensive about Christ. I've seen the redemption of that blasphemous rando by the name of Terrence Howard. Yeah, because of my ministry. I've seen, guys, like some hard knock A-list celebrities internationally, as well as locally, out here finally sitting down to listen to what I have to. I've seen Cass Vest listening what's going on with me. Nasty C. I have seen one person from this country that the Lord showed me is going to do a complete 180 and change and give her life to Christ was Boiti Tulo. I've also seen Kimang Ona, Slay Queen Sahale, Kanye Mbao, rocking up all up in my ministry as well. Guys, like just a whole bunch of celebrities in and out of the country, from this land and abroad, tuning into my ministry. And the Lord was like, if you are struggling to create your shorts because you're not getting viewed and you're not gaining new subscribers, just remember that Cardi B is going to get saved because of your ministry. Just remember that Nicki Minaj is going to get saved because of your ministry. Like he gave me the exact celebrities that are going to get reached in particular because of my ministry. Now, many celebrities will get saved because of the rapture, but not every last one of them that gets saved is going to get saved because of my ministry. But he told me which ones would. And in particular, I saw Brad Pitt, Nicki Minaj, and Cardi B from the US. I saw interest from Morris Chestnut, and I saw but redemption too in Terrence Howard from my ministry. And in South Africa, Boiti Chulo, and interest in Casper Nyovest and Nasty C and Kanye Mbao. I will let you guys know who else I've seen. But basically people who flood to Christian ministries and then get healed as a result. These celebrities will go everywhere, right? To try and find the truth, what's going on. Not just celebrities, but everybody. Whatever's happened in the world, they will go everywhere. Type establishment thing. Yeah, but like, of course there will be others that will frequent my ministry. And the thing that's going to draw people to mine is the prophecies that are going to be fulfilled. The prophecies that are going to be fulfilled. My descriptions using movies and stuff like that. They will then come into this. I told you guys that my dance videos, my exercise, I'm going to be like Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda, you know that chick from the 80s that used to do dance or workout videos. And there's a channel on YouTube that uploads her workout videos. And even though she is from the 80s, like long ago, type setup thing, or is it the 90s, I stand corrected, she still gets millions of views on YouTube. Millions. Yeah, the Lord has shown my content being like Jane Fonda. That even though my workouts, Jane Fonda and some other dude from the UK or some that's it, like a video that, and some other aerobics video that was produced and from the 80s as well, that got millions of views on YouTube. God is like, your dance videos, your exercise, your workouts, those that you upload, day 60, day whatnot, they are going to get the kinds of views that Jane Fonda's videos got. And people are going to be watching you with a nostalgia and a sorrow, a deep one, because they will have ignored you. However, before the rapture, 0.0000000. So if at all you are discouraged from doing a short, if you are discouraged from doing this long form content, if you feel like you need to cut up your video into 3 parts, 4 parts, because you are speaking for 10,000 hours, don't bother. People are going to sit outside a 3-hour video of yours and watch it like they're watching a movie, and they will finish it to the end. And they will go on right ahead to take a 5-minute leg stretch and watch the next one, because the hardship of the tribulation is not going to happen immediately. It's not going to happen immediately. There's going to be a season in the middle where people are trying to regroup as to what just happened. And it is in this season that people are going to be very able to comfortably watch YouTube videos. They're going to double down on people and wreak havoc in Christian lives, and also on Christian content only after a couple of months. Once the rapture has happened. But by then, people will have already been smart enough to download stuff offline. They will have been smart enough to try to build some kind of a contingency plan. And whatever counsel it is that we gave them, how it is that we survived what we did, and all that jazz, it'll stick on their minds now, because now everybody's getting arrested for holding a Bible. Everybody's out there being given grief for holding fast to Jesus Christ. So the underestimation of my person, I'm your Moses, yo. I'm your Moses. I am your Moses. Listen badly. I am going to take you out of the land of Egypt. And as for South Africa, you are going to be derided for having done this to me. You're going to be despised. You're going to be ashamed of yourself. And you are going to cease to be a nation in the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. I already told you. You are going to wish you had treated me the way that you treated Trevor Noah. You're going to wish that you had treated me the way that you treated Charlize Theron. You're going to wish you had treated me the way that you had treated Elon Musk. You're going to wish that you had treated me the way that you treated Tyler, the musician girl. You're going to wish that you had loved my talents enough to basically be proud of me when I am international now. You're going to wish I was treated like Trevor, Tyler, Charlize, Elon. You get all these South African celebrities that are staying abroad, that are loved abroad. You're going to wish you had loved me like them. Because they speak nothing but praises about their country. Tyler's always speaking about South Africa. Trevor's always speaking about South Africa. Charlize spoke about South Africa. You know, you get my point. They are happy to mention that they're from this country. But all I speak is that I can't stand South Africa. You're gonna, you know that Jesse Race song that I did? Birth, home, you've been cruel. Now you will not get me back. Yeah. You're gonna wish you had loved me. Do you understand? Now you will not get me. What are among the lyrics in that song? Now you will not get me back. You wish something along the lines of I wish I could find it, but really I don't have time to be singing anymore. But in those lyrics, I sang them the other day. I spoke about how it is. You wish you had loved me back. Birth, home, you've been cruel. Now you will not get me back. For the Lord has made you snooze from a message so special, message so real. Oh, countrymen, now it's clear you're deceived. You'll wish you had loved me back. That's what you get for bruising the prophets sent to you, yo, to you, yo, figures. You're gonna wish you had loved me, South Africa. Is that basic? You're gonna wish you didn't bewitch me into oblivion. You're gonna wish you didn't try to force rape me. You're gonna wish you didn't try to force me into a marriage that didn't make sense. You're gonna wish you didn't stank. Do you understand what I'm saying? But by then I'll be gone. I'll be elevated in the sky. I'll be in heaven. I'll be highly regarded. My reputation will be entirely restored, but from a vantage point where I'm a raptured saint, and people are going to anticipate that I will come back with Christ, and with him we will rule, all of us as saints, for 1,000 years. And so granted that I will have been exalted to that position, now you're going to have an acute awareness of the fact that I am watching the Hunger Games from the sky, with all the saints, with all of heaven's legions, as the Lord is unleashing indignation on the earth. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. We are going home. That's why I'm not fretting. That's why I'm not fronting. That's why I'm not screaming. That's why I'm not shouting. That's why I'm not freaking out. And that's why today I still produced 20 more shorts, because I recognize that I am doing this content because I've got celebrities to entertain, like proper. I'm gonna have A-list celebrities internationally watching my content. So why stop producing? Why would I want to stop doing a short with all the quality tweaks that I add into it? Why would I want to stop singing? Why would I want to stop dancing? Why would I want to stop talking? Why would I want to stop giving prophecy when I've liked Brad Pitt all my life? Why under heaven would I want to not want to do a good short for Brad Pitt? Why would I not want to do a good short for Nicki Minaj? Why would I not want to do a good short for Cardi B? Who in the world is out here reaching Cardi B for Christ when she's out here singing WAP with Megan Thee Stallion? Who? Ain't nobody. I'm gonna reach her. I'm getting to Cardi. Like, that's what God showed me. I'm gonna get to Cardi. So if at all you can get to somebody that was that far gone in the entertainment industry, that darkened, I'm not playing. I'm still gonna do the work that I'm doing with the quality that I am doing it, because I am working now for those 1 billion views for Pharrell's music video. I don't want to irritate my 1 billion viewers with groggy, bad videos that are not well edited and all that jazz. I am producing quality content. When a YouTuber gets bigger and bigger, their videos improve. I have thorough comprehension that I'm gonna get so big that it is worth my while to invest in the quality of my ministry right now. Because, like I said, I've got Brad Pitt to do a whole video for, to convince him for the case for Christ. That's what's good. So I don't have time to be sitting around gathering dust, moping, feeling sorry for myself because some licentious, perverted, sodomic men are trying to beat down my doors, trying to come into my house. That's what's good. Trying to have sex with me because they feel like I haven't had it in 13 years and I need to get some. I'm not interested. I'm going to share the prophecies that God has given me and continue to do the work that I'm doing despite having no new subscribers, despite having no new views, despite having nothing, because one of these days we're going home. And when it happens, you're all going to freak out. However, some of y'all aren't even going to get there. You're going to die. Because like I said, you're going to shoot each other unbeknownst to yourselves. You're going to murder, suicide each other. And it'll be good riddance for you. And that's what's going to give me seasonal relief. That's what's going to give me temporary relief in this time. That's what's going to make sure that I might gain maybe 10 new subscribers, or somebody that might decide to send me a donation so that I don't just completely run dry of stuff that I need. But in terms of comprehensive leg room to just freely float, that I'm not going to get. I'm not getting an apartment. I'm not getting a husband, children, the whole nine. Whatever it is that is a life that you can fly like a bird and be nearly furtado, that I'm not getting. But I will certainly be given, like I said, leg room. I'm not going to run out of tampons, you idiots. I'm not going to run out of linseed. I already said that. I'm not going to run out of hyaluronic acid. I'm not going to run out of vitamin C, retinol. I'm not going to run out of whatever it is that I need, that are my basic necessities. When they run out, the Lord will replenish them. But I certainly am not going to get an apartment either. I'm going to get just what I need, even though not what I want. But that's going to be to prove a gargantuan point. So all the best maintaining your hardship against me. Bottom line is, I'm not going to marry a man that beat me to a pulp until I said okay. Like, we're not doing that. However, as for those men, I would hugely implore you to repent, because there's no way that you're getting out of this other than through Christ. There's already been a decree of death set on your back, and the only way that God will stay his hand from finishing you off is if you humble yourself with a broken and a contrite spirit and seek his face to spare you from the plague that's going to slap the rest of these men. It's like the Passover blood in Egypt. Put the Passover blood over your own doorpost, because the plague is going out. And it's going to knock all of these Tupacs out the window. I told you these Gen Zs, they're only 25, but they're going to die soon. I told you about my ex-boyfriend car accident. I told that, y'all, people are about to die. And the only thing that's going to save them is if they put the Passover blood on their doorposts. That's the most I will give you. That's the only way you can escape this wide-sweeping death curse that you all have sent on each other. All these men that are vying for my hand, there is a death spell operating on every last one of you. And you will all get knocked out by like dominoes unless you put Passover blood on you. That's the only olive branch I can offer you. Otherwise, you're going to hell. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Crank. I hope you've been edified. Peace.